What's going on, everybody? Tonight we got to turn down for what? All-Star race. This is a special edition All-Star race. Something I kind of threw together with a bunch of admins last season here for Turn Down for What. We kind of brought up this whole idea of why have two separate All-Star races when we have two separate season or series. So what we did is we combined everything together. We took the trucks, we took the Xfinity cars, we threw them all on one track. We tried to figure out where this track or what track could give us the most even racing between both series. And we said, well, super speedways, Talladega. We'll throw them both on the track and see what they can do. 2-3 wide racing with trucks and Xfinity cars going 180, 190 mile an hour down this thing with some draft. Could the trucks keep up with the Xfinity cars? Could the Xfinity cars keep from overheating if they're pushing a truck? And last season, it was a blast to put on. Great racing between the two different series. And the funny part is overall, a truck won. Outbeat like 4 Xfinity cars coming to the finish line last season when we did this All-Star race. So interested to see what happens this season. Last season's winner of the All-Star race, Byron Jones, is in the field again tonight, and I think he's rocking a truck again. And my special guest into the booth here, who's been away a little while, Mr. Pete. Pete, you back?
I am back, Kurt. I am back. KS Gaming 51 live on Twitch, absolutely. But yeah, I just heard you say something about old Byron. Yeah, he's back in a truck. Didn't switch over to an Xfinity car. Figured if you got a good thing going, why change it? But how are you, bud?
I'm doing great. I'm really excited for this All-Star race. I'm excited for all the new and upcoming things we got going on between you, me, and the rest of the group of broadcasters that we all know and love. We got all kinds of things going on with Sunday nights, Monday nights, Tuesday nights, and then the whole big announcement that we had last Friday with the Sim Racing channel coming to Roku TV. It's going to be awesome, Pete. I love that we're all kind of driving each other. And Jim Blankenship, who's the owner, admin, pusher, whatever you want to call him for this whole thing, is driving us all in a positive direction and giving us a lot of feedback and hope that we can put all of our stuff out on Roku TV and have a lot of people come out and enjoy watching sim racing.
You know, did I ever tell you that I love your brother? I swear.
Why?
Even though he just put out there in chat, Pete
Yeah,
hates me.
I see it now.
He's all right, man. Even though
I mean, he steals the words right out of my mouth, but
yeah, and I called him, or I called
you
you
called
his
me
name.
his name last
Yeah,
night or
during
on Friday night.
during
I
the
know. I called
race
it
at
out.
Chicago. Yeah, but
You keep doing it. I don't
yeah,
know why.
I don't know, dude. I just think it's the
It's
whole
probably because you
SWAT
have to
word
call
thing.
his name on track, and I'm not on track anymore.
There you go. There you go. But man, yeah, the whole sim racing channel on Roku that's going to kick off on August the 1st. We held, in case anybody out there, whether you're watching it now or going to watch the replay a little bit later on, we held the very first race that will be aired on Roku TV over on Rick James's channel, Rick James TV One from Chicago. And man, I tell you, it's sad. Excuse me, it's sad to see that track go, Kurt,
Oh,
because
absolutely.
when you can hold a race and have 3 and sometimes 4 trucks wide, and could put on that kind of pack racing, that kind of drafting, with between 39 people that did somebody know others out there? Absolutely, but for the most part, not everybody ran together. 112 or 113 laps caution free. That was a hell of a race, and then at the end, everybody got their elbows up, and it was time to go. And man, it was a great show from start to finish. I'd love to go and do it all over again, and just to know that we'll actually be able to in the very very near future. The what's the old saying? Future's so bright, I gotta wear shades. There you go.
Yeah, I've heard that before. um, yeah, I don't know. I'm getting really excited about it. Every time I talk to Jim or Stan and Michael, and then being with you, Rick, Atlanta, it's crazy that I'm even lumped in the group with you four or you
You
three.
deserve it.
Yeah, but I mean, coming from when I started, you were already, big and huge, and I loved watching you, Atlanta, Rick. I mean, there's so many of you that I watched or listened to, or you guys called the races that I was in on
Hmm.
console, and I jumped into this. I learned from all of you guys. I went back and watched streams. I tried to listen, tried to learn. Maybe not listen as much as I probably should have immediately, but um, I did everything I could to try to get out there. I had to work through some Bueller days where guys were listening to the stream and saying I sounded more like the teacher from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, for the young guys watching right now that don't understand the reference.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, I had to
You've
work through
opened
all
up a
that.
lot though. Yeah. But you have absolutely open. I know exactly what you're talking about. You did sound a bit more robotic in the beginning, but yeah, man, you've opened up. You're showing your true broadcasting personality. You're not fake at all. I love listening to the way you broadcast and the way you put on a show. It's been absolutely amazing. But how about now these truckers and Xfinity cars out there on track at Talladega for the turn down for what AllStar race. Like you were saying just a little bit ago, see it popping right now. It looks like the 14 Office Depot car out there on track for old Mr. Nate Lehman.
Yeah, it looks like he's bringing back the crayons again. Last time I seen him run this, he got a win. So looks like he's going to throw
Hey.
this out there for the All Star race. I love the idea of this. I was kind of just being funny when I
Uh
threw
huh.
this idea out, last season, and was like, oh, why don't we put them on the same track at the same time? Put them out there and see who can win. And each series will be racing for a winner. So the winner of the Truck Series and winner of the Xfinity Series, those are our two winners. But these guys are so competitive. The trucks want to beat the Xfinity cars. The Xfinity cars want to beat the truck cars or trucks on track. So it's so much competition between the two of them. You wouldn't think a truck would be able to be faster than an Xfinity car, but it's a super speedway. Draft comes into play. We thought about overheating. What happens when a Xfinity car is pushing a truck? Are they going to be able to overheat? Or are they going to be able to get enough air to the grill and not overheat and blow engines pushing and drafting? And last year it was awesome. If you get a chance, go back and watch it. But I think tonight these guys learned a lot from last season. I think it's going to be even crazier this season. So let's go ahead and jump into that national anthem before we forget about that and get right into racing. Never want to forget that national anthem. So let's give a huge shout out and big salute to the red, white, and blue, as always, Pete.
Let's go.
All right. We are back live at Talladega. Pete, this is going to be an entertaining race to say the least. I can't wait to see who comes away with tonight's victory. Will it be a truck again? Will we have a repeat of last year repeat? Or will we have an Xfinity driver finally overtake a truck in this race? I think it's going to be maybe becoming a turn down for what tradition for All Star races. We always do this. Whether we have one series, two series, three series, four series, whatever we get to, I think we should always combine them like this. I think it's a really cool concept to put all these guys on the same track at the same time.
Absolutely. There's no reason not to. Once you find something that works, you can kind of tweak on it, maybe make it a little bit better if you think you can. But yeah, this is it's an absolute great idea. Could the cup cars be added in? Sure. Could some BMWs or some Porsches or something like that be added in? Sure. Anything you can do to make it more fun, more entertaining, there's no reason not to do it. I love the concept. Glad you came up with it, and Yeah, it's definitely worked.
I think with the whole next gen series coming out on Tuesdays, this Tuesday actually, brand new series for Turn Down for What. I think if we put the next gen cars and the trucks on Talladega next season, we'll see more of a split. I think for the speed. Even though next gens, I feel like they don't have the power, so maybe they actually will be a little slower than the trucks. But
Hmm.
Pete, we are getting gridded up, and let's check out to see who is tonight's pole sitter. And could it be that Truck
Yeah.
Series champion, J-Paw, in the 22 in his Xfinity car is going to take the pole tonight and be the top spot in an Xfinity car? Crazy that J-Paw just won his truck championship last Sunday. Comes out here and gets the pole in a Talladega Speedway race where we know him to be the Speedway guru.
Oh yeah, J Pie, he's actually come a long way. Like you said many times on these streams, he's not just fast on super speedways. He is fast all around, and his championship is a testament to just that. I see you got our grid up. Let's go.
Yeah, we got Josh Arnold up first in 22 Xfinity car sitting on the pole. Then you got Andrew Chapman sitting in the 3 and second on the outside row. Braden Holt making his return to Turn Down for What after a few weeks, making his return and getting the inside slot in the second row, starting third tonight. Christopher Murphy, who had a really, really good season in trucks and Xfinity, won a couple races in Xfinity, starts out fourth tonight. Nate Lehman, our Xfinity Series champion, so two champions in the top 5 right now. He's going to be starting out fifth, and Hunter Peach is going to come home sixth. Or starting sixth, not coming home sixth. If he comes home sixth, he's probably going to be pretty mad at me. But Zach Meredith coming in seventh. Jeff Lednam, otherwise known as Mr. Mike Honcho himself, starting eighth. Mike Papa Bear Campbell going to be ninth tonight. Byron Jones, your driver, Pete, going to start out the top 10.
Yeah, behind Byron Jones in that number one is going to be your brother, old Shad Swatsworth, in that number one Tracker Boats machine. Cole Snyder to his outside. He's going to be rocking the number 24 Napa Auto Parts. Looks like Silverado. And then Ryland Barkhouse, I'm not quite sure, double O in his Chevrolet.
If it's a double
Canadian
O, it
infield.
might be Pacey.
Pacey, okay, yep. The 98 of Enrique. Canonis in his Ford F-150. Jose Ruiz, even though he's got some issues, he's bringing out that Toyota to come on out and try to compete. Bill Hales in that number 53 Chevrolet. 88 of Mike Allen, P17. P18 is going to be the 19 of Jake Millsap in his truck month Silverado. Dale Rapp, number 52 Chevy Silverado as well. Joshua Roberts back here rocking the 69. Jeff Jones in that number 95, it looks like. Nick Marshall in this 23 Silverado as well. Mike D. Campbell, Papa Bear's boy, back there in the Toyota. Kyle Robb in the number 16 Ford F-150. And Charles Keller Jr. Is going to go ahead and round out the field in his number 21. All the way in the back, Jack.
This is going to be kind of interesting. I'm noticing some of the numbers are off tonight, and I think that's because they had to create a hosted lobby instead of going through the different series that they have created on iRacing because they couldn't mix the cars, basically, I guess, for that. So they had to create a hosted lobby. It looks like some people forgot to turn their numbers to their real numbers on the series. So we'll be trying to figure this out throughout the night, Pete. Most of them, we know their numbers based on what series they run and stuff. So we'll see if this works out for us.
Well, whether it works out for us or not, it's what numbers they're going to see on screen. So you might be able to, if you're out there in chat and you're watching the guys over on the scoring pylon, you kind of disregard what the number is on some of them and just watch what bad, fast number they are out there on track. It's Talladega. It's the end of the season race. Let's go. Boy, oh boy.
Yeah, it's going to get loud here, Pete. It's Talladega. These guys are going to be screaming around this track. Can't wait to see if the trucks can keep up with the Xfinity cars, or did the Xfinity cars learn something from last season? And we are green as J-Paw in that 22 Pennzoil machine is going to get it going with the 3 on the outside. That is Andrew Chapman in the 3, going to be leading that outside row. 27 of Chris Murphy right behind him with Braden Holt tailing his mentor, I guess, through this. Looks like he's running. Is that a Star Wars base game?
I know.
Can't tell.
So I'm not 100%. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
Vader on the hood, but he is trailing J-Paw in that red double deuce Pennzoil machine. 3 Xfinity cars, 4 Xfinity cars lined up on that bottom row. Then you got 4 Xfinity cars on the outside row, Pete. Some trucks are starting to get together, but these trucks probably do not want the Xfinity cars to get away and stretch away from them. They want to be tucked in with them to be pulled around by them.
Yeah, I tell you, I was actually talking to your brother just a little bit before the race started, and he was saying there is a little bit of a difference between the Xfinity cars and the trucks. Unlike last year, the trucks are actually having a hard time sucking up to the back end of an Xfinity car, so we'll have to see how this fares out. I mean, there are a couple of trucks mixed in on the high and bottom line so far, but there's also quite a few trucks that are further back. Now, that could be by design, or maybe they just missed the restart. Not 100% sure, but within the top 10, top 11, give or take, there is a pretty decent mix.
And Bowling out there saying, I remember last season with the AllStar race, truck won, and it was fun. It definitely was Bowling. I definitely enjoyed watching last season. A truck did win, and that was Byron Jones, who's also in the field tonight, driving that 44 machine for Mr. Reaping here for Patriot Youth Bars. He's going to try to go 2 races in a row for turn down for what All-Star races. That is actually his only win of his career in the turn down for what, Pete? And he got it in the All-Star race. Is this his lucky charm, and this is the only way he's going to get a win?
Well, you know what? A lot of people don't know this about Byron. All right, so he's 16, 17 years old, just graduated high school. He's out in the real world now, but he used to race on a laptop, and that laptop barely met iRacing specs. The only thing that he could have on his screen was the track and the wall. Everything else had to be turned off in order for him to race. The man's racing with a brand new PC. His dad's also on the service now, but that's old Jeff Lednam also in the field as well. So I think Byron Jones, since he's able to see more and his computer can kind of work at a faster rate, I think he's going to get up there. He's going to be more competitive. But yeah, it's definitely not the Patriot eSparks team that slots. It's old Patriot eSports. All right, so kind of keeping up. The 3 looks like he's been
trying to get these cameras loaded. Dogman out there in the chat saying that I wasn't using the super cool cameras. I thought I had his cameras loaded, but they are not showing up. So I'm trying to give me just a second here. I'm trying to get them to load in.
That's all right. No, sometimes the cameras aren't set for each track, and it may just be that it's not working with Talladega. But you know what? It kind of is. Whoa, we got some pushing and shoving up front. 27-3, 22 and others getting pushed down pit road, and it's going to bring out the first caution of the race.
Yeah, I was going to say that had to bring out a caution. J-Paw's down there on the grass spinning around. There's a couple others that are definitely spinning around there. We'll go back and take a look at this, Pete. I was trying to get those dang cameras to come up. It will not load for some reason. I think I got to reset SDK. That's not a good choice to do that right now. All right, let's go back and take a look at this, Pete.
There was basically just a lot of pushing and shoving on that high line, and car got forced down, and away they went.
All right, let's find J-Paw. Oh, he's already going around, so let me back this up. Oof. Yeah, a lot of bumping and banging.
Yeah.
Guys trying to draft. I'm wondering, Pete, if the trucks and the Xfinity cars are not lining up bumper to bumper. I know you mentioned Chad saying that the trucks were not sucking up to the bumpers of the Xfinity cars, but I'm wondering if the Xfinity cars are able to suck up to the back of the trucks, and if that's going to cause any issues with the bumpers, you know, being a little higher in the back than an Xfinity car's bumper in the back.
It's definitely possible, but on that high line, it was Xfinity car to Xfinity car. It wasn't a mismatch. So, yeah, we'll have to see. But it looks like the 54, Braden Holt, and a few others are going to make their way down pit road. Now, Kurt, I would imagine that this is just going to be a top-off. I don't anticipate anybody taking tires this early. In fact, I'd be very, very surprised if anybody takes anything more than right side tires or just left side tires throughout the night. Tires really do not mean a whole lot here at the plate tracks like Daytona or Talladega. Not so much at the iRacing Super Speedway because of the way you're thrown into the corners there, but especially here at Talladega.
Yeah, I mean, I've done iRacing super speedways and things like that where I didn't take tires for the first 100 laps of the race,
Yep.
and I just threw them on because we had a caution, and I was like, oh, I might as well. So I threw tires on. But Talladega, Daytona, there's a lot of times where I'll go, half, 3/4 of the race, and if a caution comes out late in the race, I might throw tires on just to throw a little extra rubber, but it really doesn't matter. I mean, you can run 50, 60, 70 laps on tires alone with getting fuel every time, but when you check your tires, when you finally do take them off, they might be in the 90s still. It's really not that big of a deal.
No, not at all. So with Braden Holt going down pit road and actually having a bit of an extended stay, it looks like Cole Snyder is number 24, now up 11 spots. He's going to be the control truck when everybody gets back up and get going. He's going to have Nate Lehman, Zach Meredith, Enrique Canones, and Rylan Barkhouse, a.k.a. old Pacey Wygant, in P number 5. P6, Stan Carnathan with Byron Jones, Mike Papa Bear Campbell, 8th, Shad Swatsworth, your bro, in P9, and Jake Millsap to round out the top 10.
Yeah, this is going to get pretty interesting here. The top 10 is pretty much filled with multi-cars here.
Yep.
I don't know out of the group of what, I mean, we got to be looking for a winner from each series. We're not just looking for a winner overall. So, I mean, yeah, the guys on track, they may be saying, if I'm a truck driver tonight and I happen to beat out the entire field, including Xfinity cars, then I could say I'm the best between both series. But really, we're just looking for a winner from the trucks and winners from Xfinities. Those are what we're really paying attention to. But like I said, these guys are so competitive, they don't care if they're in a truck or an Xfinity car. They want to beat all the trucks plus the Xfinity cars. They really don't care.
Yeah, and it's the All-Star race. You want to get up there, you want to lead a bunch of laps, and you want to have the best possible chance at the W when that checker flag falls. So you got to do what you got to do. There's no points on the line. The season's over. J-Pa was declared your champ. And like you said, there's a whole lot more coming between the truck series that I'll be broadcasting whenever the new season is announced. But you're coming up very, very soon with their brand new next gen season. I believe, what is it, next Tuesday night? So it's coming, yeah.
It'd be this Tuesday, the 26th. So this Tuesday is going to be a brand new feeling for Turn Down for What. They've only run Xfinity and trucks through 5 seasons, 6 seasons that they've run. So bringing in a new car like this for a new season. They did run modifieds a little bit, but I mean, as far as the upper series in NASCAR, this is the first time they're actually moving into a Cup car, whether it is the older Cup car or it's the new next-gen Cup car. They have not run a series like that, so we'll see what this happens. I don't know what it's going to do. I know that these cars are so tricky sometimes. There's a lot of tracks that it's really hard to keep those cars underneath. And anybody who watched Pocono today can figure it out. Turn 3 was the trickiest. Obviously the tricky triangle, but even the real NASCAR guys, they have trouble. Auto Club early on in the season, they couldn't keep that car underneath them to save their lives. Today at Pocono, they couldn't keep it in turn 3. So many cars spun out there. I mean, how many tracks have we seen this year in this brand new next gen car where even real professionals just can't keep this car underneath them?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Just before B-Water kicked off last year, Mike York and Stan Carnathan, they were going to go ahead and bring back American Ethanol in the next-gen cars before they had their update, and you were able to run wide open around like Las Vegas and Chicago and a couple other places. But no, they B-Water kicked off. That took a lot of time and people to kick that off. So I'm very, very curious to see what you and Pop Bear and the other admins are able to do with those next-gen cars. It's going to be a lot of fun. Cole Snyder is going to be the first one to see that green flag drop. 14 to the outside. 17 is going to try to give that 24 a big old shove. Let's go back racing. 14 tried to kick it off just a little early. Here we go.
Dogman and Bowling out there on the chat talking about HTL having some troubles at Martinsville last week. They had broadcast for it. It was pretty crazy. They were at Martinsville, and it was turn 3 and 4 that were a lot of issues going around there. And I know that for a fact because I watched it and I streamed it. So I watched that car go around a couple times. But back on track, these guys.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the 24 of Cole Snyder, he got off to a huge lead. And of course, anytime you get off to one of those leads here at Dega or Daytona, the pack back in wicked fast fashion. They caught up to him and they were able to get up the line and just really persevered with Zachary Meredith at the helm. And Pacey Wygent right behind him, and there's my buddy old Byron Jones rocking that number 44 out there in heat number 3.
Yeah, I mean, look at that front 4. That's an Xfinity car dragging 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trucks. Where's the rest of the Xfinity cars?
Looks like they're hanging out a little bit further in the back. They might be a little gun shy after what just happened.
Look at them all. I mean, I can keep going back here. There's so many. The first one is Nate Lehman back in 10th. And then even to his outside, there's a truck. That's Mike Papa Bear Campbell in the 71. Let's see, right behind Lehman, there's a truck. That's the 95, the 27. All right, there comes the Xfinity cars now. That's a lot of trucks out in front of Xfinity cars. Nate Lehman coming down pit road early.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened with Nate. That's kind of strange. Might be trying something different, but he's definitely going to lose the draft. And when you lose the draft, you lose a lap shortly thereafter. Not 100% sure what happened with Nate.
I think he's pulling down. I think he's going to be out. Pull him up here and see him on pit road. See what he does. Does he throw tires or anything? Nothing.
Oh, hopefully.
He might have got a black flag.
Maybe. Oh, hopefully, yeah. He had to come in and stop, and he's on his way back out. Very unfortunate, but back up with the pack. The 17 is Zachary Meredith, as you said, dragging this field around behind him.
Yeah, I've never seen that many trucks be able to be dragged by an Xfinity car like that. You would think the trucks, would have a little less horsepower, but Xfinity and trucks really aren't that off, in my opinion. I mean, they're pretty close. Cup obviously is extended. There's a little difference there, obviously. Next gen. I mean, when we ran iRacing Super Speedway, if you get going in a next gen car and then you get going in a truck, I actually think the trucks might even run a little bit faster than the next gen car, or at least they were for a little while there, unless they fixed the update. But look at this stream of Xfinity cars coming to the outside.
Whoa!
Meredith throws a block, and it just, oh wow, it just bottled everything up on that outside corner, and it put Peach right into the wall.
Yeah, huge carnage behind the 17. He saw them coming, went up, picked them up, and no bueno. When you got cars or in trucks coming, 15 mile an hour faster than you're going, and you pull up to block them, no good.
Yeah, that was. We could probably see that one coming. There was going to be some issues there. That was a lot of speed coming from the 20 of 100 Peach there. Let's go take a look and see if we can find where this all happened. So
there's a lot of cars and trucks tore up.
Yeah. All right, so from the back, we'll look at this 26 car of Hunter Peach and the move that just caused the incident. You'll see that 17 try to come up and grab the Xfinity cars, but look at the push. The 54, Braden Holt, is giving that 26, and as soon as the 26 hits the back bumper of the 17, it just bottles everything up with that 54 pushing, and it's just an accordion effect. The whole outside line just ran right into the back of each other and then turned down into the truck line that was on the bottom line, and I think we just had about 8 or 9 trucks, cars, all mixed together involved in this one.
Yeah, definitely not the move that you'd think would need to be made this early in the race. But hey, Zach Meredith, he's trying to hold on. Maybe he thought the guys behind would check up, not hit like that, and it'd be a little bit better. Very, very, very unfortunate Like I said, there's a lot of cars and trucks back there that will have to come on down pit road. I don't recall how many fast repairs these guys have, but
I don't
if
know if
they
they
do
gave them
have,
one tonight. I forgot to ask that. I know that they took it away from the Xfinity cars, but they left one for the trucks. So I don't know if they came up with one or not. We'll have to ask Papa Bear that. I know he did ask about being an in-race reporter, so let's go grab the owner of Turn Down for What and see if we can get him to talk to us for a minute.
all right, well, so far I'm kind of keeping an eye on a couple of these cars or trucks that were pretty badly damaged, and none of them are healed up. So I'm gonna guess
We are
probably
early in the race, though, Pete.
What's that?
We are early in the race, so maybe they won't be using that. But Papa Bear Campbell coming up into the booth now, the 71 truck. Papa Bear, first of all, were you involved in this incident, and do you guys have fast repairs turned on tonight?
No, I was not involved in that, thankfully. So I still have, and yes, we do have a fast repair. We put it up for the vote for the Xfinity and the truck guys this week, and they all voted to at least have at least one. So we do have one for tonight.
All right,
Okay.
so yeah, so that's what we were seeing there, Pete. You know, some guys, we're 13 laps into the race. It's an 80-lap race. They probably figure it's probably going to happen again, so why waste the fast repair now? They'll probably run around with a damaged truck for a little bit. But Papa Bear, how you feeling out on track? How's it with being able to draft with the Xfinity cars tonight?
Well, draft with the Xfinity cars, it's pretty good. It is real good. The only problem we found in practice, which we don't think we've had any issue with that yet, but the Xfinity cars pushing the trucks, the rear end of the trucks are a little bit lighter, so we do have a little bit of issues with that. But it's just right now everybody just full blown having a good time out here, and some of them trying to block the lane and stuff and banging each other around a little bit, but it'll straighten out here shortly.
Well, I mean, I know last year, us all admins and you, when we got to talking, and I kind of threw this idea out here. I really was joking when I said about putting them all on the track at the same time. But I know, you loved the idea. You put it out there last season. A lot of guys loved it. Actually, I got to tell you, your wife's out in the chat, I think, or is Eleanor 2021? Who is that?
That is my son's fiance.
Okay, so your son's fiance is out there rooting for the 11 and 71. So she's actually saying one of you is going to win this race. So she's out there rooting for you. But yeah, when we put all this together, did you really think the guys were going to like it as much as maybe the false idea or the joking idea that I threw out there to put all this on one track at one time?
I didn't. At first,
Did you think it was going to work?
Like, yeah, I was like, heck yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. Let's do it. And then everybody, had their pros and cons on it. And then once we raced it, and after the race, how much feedback we got from it, and how much these guys had fun, we had to bring it back for another time.
I think it needs to be a staple. I think it needs to stay here, and this should be a thing that happens and turn down for what all the time. Whether we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 series, we can put them all on the track and figure it out.
Yep. Well, with us having the next gens coming up, that's something that we'll have to test out. And
I would
with
really
the next
like to see if the
gens and the trucks, we might have to mess with the engine percent on that to equal it out a little bit, but we'll have to test and see what happens.
Oh no! Don't mess with the engines. Let them just run it out. We'll see if they can compete. Plus, that stretches the field out. That's what I initially thought. I thought the Xfinity cars would run away from the trucks, but they didn't last season. So we'll see if maybe the next gens, if they have that ability to run away from the trucks. But I actually feel like the next gen and trucks, unless they did an update, when we ran iRacing Super Speedway, just running different stuff, it was pretty close between the next gen and the trucks based on speed. So I don't know if it would be any closer or not.
Well, I just noticed when there was 2 of us on the outside, just 2 of us, and then trucks, that just everybody was blowing us away, and then they started passing us on the outside. So we're good. We definitely have to have a Xfinity car there to to draw in the draft. So everybody's kind of work together in that aspect.
Gotcha. Well, I will send you back down unless Pete's got something for you.
Now, Pop Bear, good luck. Go get him, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good luck.
All right, so you heard it from the owner. He is very thrilled with this race. He's enjoying it. I'd love to see Papa Bear come out here and get a win, Pete. I think it would be awesome to end the season. Owner coming out, splitting time between both series. He's now going to be the race control for the next gen series. He stepped out of the driver's seat for that. I think he's still going to run the truck series though, in the driver's seat. So we're back green though. The 3 of Andrew Chapman is out front, being trailed by the 1 truck of Shad Swatsworth and that old double deuce back up front, Pete.
Yeah, the Dukes are going to try to get back up there. I tell you what, that number 3, he's got a whole lot of damage left on the hood of that Red's Apple, I believe it's malt drink. But yeah, 22 is going to try to get to the outside. Your brother's going to fall just a little bit, but he's got the 19 very, very close in tow. A little bit of a gap between the double deuce of old J-Pie and that 3. As long as the 3 isn't the first car, as long as he's not the one with all the clean air on the hood, he should be able to tuck right under and be good to go. And then, of course, there is Jeff Lednam sitting right there in P number 3, also in that Xfinity car, followed by quite a few truckers up on that high line.
Oh, and Pacey Wyden making a move to the bottom in his multicolored truck. I'm not sure what his truck says, but it says something about Stay Strong Pete. So I'm not sure if he's racing for somebody or not. Maybe we can grab him if there is another caution or something, see if we can get a story. And as I say that, I see a car go up into the wall, Pete.
Yeah, I kind of missed that one a little bit back. Looks like so far, though, we are going to stay green, working lap 16 of 80. Yeah, way in the back and very,
I think that's the
slow.
23 of Nick Marshall that got turned up into the wall. That's crazy. They're still going, though.
Yep, still going. Still the double deuce, the number 3 and the 25, so nothing's changed there. Cole Snyder back there in his Napa Auto Parts Napa know-how. Number 24 is a good old buddy and longtime racing pal Enrique Canones right now rounding out the top 5.
Oh, there's the caution.
Yep, there it is. Caution number 2.
Caution number 2 out on track. We got the Sim Racing channel out there in the chat. That would be Mr. Jim Blankenship, I believe, cheering us on tonight, Pete. Love that he's, actually tuning into his broadcasters, bringing it into that channel over on Roku TV. I think this is a great start for all. It's on mine.
Let me see.
But let's go grab somebody real quick and see what's going on. Here, let me see.
60. I mean, it's just the it's cutting in and out pretty bad on Twitch. Check my internet, just make sure it's not me. I'll pull up the stream on my phone.
It's working on Twitch. It's working on Facebook. And it's working on YouTube. It's a little glitchy on YouTube, so I'm going to close YouTube.
You do the same thing.
Anybody else having issues out there, please let me know. It seems to be working on my phone and everything, so we'll see what's going on here.
I just pulled it up on my.
Pete giving me a heart attack.
I'm sorry, man.
No, I appreciate you letting me know. I would hate to go an entire stream.
Yeah, no, it looks like it's back.
Okay. All right, let's go pull Pacey real quick and see what his paint scheme's about. Okay. Mr. Double Deuce, or Double Zero, Pacey Wygen, you got a copy, buddy?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, bud, just noticing your paint scheme. Are you racing for somebody? I saw a logo on your hood. I just want to see if maybe you're racing for somebody, if you wanted to give a shout out, if you're trying to drive for somebody or not.
No, not really. It was a cool paint scheme. I like this, so I put it on.
Okay. It says Stay Strong Pete, so I was like, well, let me see what this is about.
You know what, Pete? I'm glad you're here covering the race, but I'm very sorry to say it's not about you. So
Well, it said number
You know what?
51, so that's why I didn't know if it was a racing buddy or anything like that. We wanted to give you a shout out for it.
No.
Getting back to having children under the roof, at times there are definitely times I need to stay strong. So I'll take it. Thank you.
But Pacey, we've seen you, zigging and zagging out there. You made a pretty strong move to the bottom there. It looked like you were going to pull to the front, and that caution came out. What are you feeling on track driving around with a truck with all these Xfinity cars around you?
Well, when I was in second there for a while, I was trying to test runs, and there's just no way that you can get a run in the truck on the Xfinity car. So it's going to take a miracle. Maybe just if we keep doing this, all the Xfinity cars will wreck out.
Well, I mean, I know everybody's kind of focused on beating the Xfinity cars, but really, we're only looking for 2 winners. There's an Xfinity Series winner and a Truck Series winner, and then we have the overall winner. So there's 3 winners tonight, technically. But really, you just want to beat out all the trucks. Whatever series you pick, that's the series you want to win from.
Right, I understand that. Don't get me wrong, but
that competitive nature.
come on, man.
See,
You
Pete,
want
I
to be the
told you.
first one across.
These guys don't care if they're in a truck, a go-kart, a Walmart shopping cart. They want to beat the guy next to them. It doesn't matter what they're in. I
You know
don't.
what? You know
It's
what?
just proves it right there.
Give me a front-wheel drive 4-cylinder. I'll go out here and I'll race it like there's no tomorrow.
Oh, God.
I'll try to
Dodge
get to the
Neon
front.
coming through.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
They'd race a unicycle. Who are we kidding?
hey, I know. These guys, it don't matter. Put them in any kind of competition, any sort of game. I mean, they'll be out here throwing dice. It don't matter. They'll be all over the place playing, trying to be number one. It doesn't matter what they're in. So, good luck on this, Pacey. I think you got a fast truck. It looks like you're able to shift lanes. I'm sure there's a way to figure it out. Byron was able to win last year in the trucks. I think there was an update, though, to these engines or something, so maybe that's what you guys are feeling.
Oh, yeah, there's definitely an update. But I do want to say one thing, though. Yeah, we're having a lot of cautions, but it's an all-star race. We're really just out here having fun.
Well, that's the number one goal, is to wrap up the seasons and really just have fun. I'm sure a couple guys might be, at least I hope not, but they might be settling old scores throughout the season, Pete. We might see a couple guys go around, hey, you wrecked me twice during the season. I'm going to finish it up here in the All-Star race. But you wouldn't do that, Pacey.
No.
All right, I'll send you back down there, and we'll see where you turn out here. And if we have another caution, maybe we'll talk to you again.
All right, sounds good.
All right, Pete, and everybody out there in the chat, we are going to go green again, and that double deuce is back out front, Pete. This is starting a trend that we've seen with him. He's always consistently out front, and that 3 did not get a good start on this one, Pete.
No, not at all. The 3 kind of back there quite a bit. Actually going to pull all the way up to that high line and still going to let more people go. All kinds of damage on his hood, but 25 right behind the 22. Then we got just a whole cluster of trucks. J-Pod right now the only Xfinity car inside the top 10.
Eleanor out in the chat says they can't hear anything. Please let me know if you're able to hear. I think everything is fixed. I can hear it on my phone, so please let me know if you're able to hear or not, and I will try to fix that. But yeah, Pete, the 3, I know he was the starting outside row, but we see the damage. We know he's going to be a little slower on the start. And I know they've got the rule where you can't pass before the start-finish line. But in that case, I don't know if I would have started out front like that. I would have probably asked for an EOL. Just myself, I would have probably asked for an EOL just so I didn't cause any other cautions or incidents or anything like that, because you're going to be slower. You could tell when he took off, he did not get going. And the whole bottom line, 5-6 cars, stretched out in front of him, and then the trucks finally went around him when they passed the finish line. So I would have probably asked for the EOL there.
Yeah, but the other side of that coin is, with that damage on the front end, if he could stay tucked up behind one of these cars or one of these other trucks, whichever, he can stay right there in the draft and still be bad fast. Let me see. Eleanor says, yeah, he can hear us now. So yeah, if he could stay in the draft, he'd be all right. He just has to stay tucked up behind somebody in order to stay competitive. Josh Arnold, Jeff Lednam still leading All the rest is trucks right now.
Just a view from Josh Arnold. Pete, let's go ahead and take a little break here. We'll go side by side, and I'll run a couple commercials here, and we'll be right back for this All-Star race at Turndown for what? Lap 22 of 80, coming up on some pretty interesting time frames if we can get going here. Some guys may have to be pitting soon, because I've noticed some guys haven't pitted in about 17 laps, so we'll come back and see if we have any green flags running. If we do have a caution, I'll bring you back in, though. All right, Pete, back from the side-by-side, turn down for what side-by-side view. We are back on track, and J-Paw's out front for lap 26. He is being tailed by one Xfinity car, and then a truck, and then another Xfinity car, and then a truck, and then another truck. So we've got a mixed bag of different types of cars up here right now, and they're all kind of single-filing on the bottom line, but there's a top line trying to get created back there, and we saw earlier there was a lot of speed coming from that top line, and Zach Merida tried to throw the block earlier, and it caused a big accident on the front stretch. But, I mean, here they come. Look at them. They're coming.
You're kind of surprised at who is actually leading that train on the high side. It's that number 3 that's got all kinds of damage on the front right of his car, but yet because of the push that he's getting from behind, he's able to get on up there. And look who it is. It's the guy that actually went down pit road, possibly due to some kind of a pit road penalty, either speeding on pit road, getting in, or speeding off pit road, which is something that you've always got to think about. You've got to be extra, vigilant about how fast you're able to get on without speeding. That way you don't lose time getting onto pit road as well as time coming off. You got to hit your pit box just perfectly so the flag drops on your hood. You're not killing too much time. But yeah, how about that double boost of old Josh Arnold J-Paw able to keep the lead. Jeff Lednam has not left his back bumper. Dan Carnathan in that number 82, and then of course the 88 for Mike Allen. You're seeing that big number 5 for that Pokemon car, and then there is your brother rocking that Bass Pro number 1, also on the bottom line with the 69 right behind.
Yeah, did you notice who's in third? That 82 of Stan Carnathan. He hasn't been racing with Turn Down for a while. He ran a couple races early in the season, and then he had another league that he had to go run in. So I believe that was the Be-Water series that you were doing.
Yep.
So
Yep.
he went over there and ran for a while. That was a great series for all those guys that were involved in it. I thought it was a great idea that our good buddy Bain put together. But he's back in the field tonight, and he's looking strong up here in third in a truck. So we'll see. I don't know, Pete. There's a lot of trucks mixed in here with the Xfinity cars, but you heard the drivers of the trucks saying they can't pull out and pass the Xfinity cars. They need an Xfinity car in front of them to get pulled along on that outside line. If a truck was leading that outside line right now, even Andrew Chapman, with all the damage he's got, he's able to pull that outside line along. But from what Pacey was saying and Papa Bear was saying, if a truck was leading that outside line, it wouldn't go anywhere. So that's kind of the problem I'm seeing here is the trucks can't pull out and make a line of their own and try to get going. But like Pacey said, he's not really worried about trucks or Xfinity. He wants to win the whole thing.
Oh, absolutely. Pacey, going all the way back to console to now. He's a man that will race anything, whether it's here in the NASCAR circuit or if it's during the VRS endurance races over the weekend or any other time. He loves racing and always has.
Caution out on track, Pete. And I don't know what this one's for. I'm not seeing anything.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything either. Working.
I see Papa Bear talking, but I'm not seeing any issues. I'm not seeing anything in my SDK. It's even registering
as a caution.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
I see the yellow flag, but I'm not seeing, somebody off course or anything like that. So I guess we'll have to. Maybe this was the stage break they were going to do in case everybody got broken up and they were going to gather them up. But this is lap 31 of 80, so this isn't even halfway. So I don't think that's what it is. So.
Nope, you're right. Looking down in the in the control room chat, it says that Pop Bear's actually gone ahead and thrown the caution flag. So yeah, you're right. Coming to lap 30, why not?
Let me verify and make sure that he threw it for the stage break or what he threw that for. Let me call him up here. Pop Bear Campbell, you got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir.
All right. You're driving me a little nuts up here trying to figure out what this caution was for. We see you threw it. What was it that brought out the caution?
Well, the last couple times Turned Down for What trucks and Xfinity series has been here at Talladega. Believe it or not, we have went. You guys know we went caution free. So tonight, at lap 30, I have a competition caution. So if we had a caution between lap 25 and lap 30, that was competition caution for tonight.
Oh, okay. All right, so that's going to gather the field back up, and we'll see what the strategies are from there. Thank you for coming up and giving us an explanation. I was trying to wrap my mind around. I was like, maybe they threw a stage break in there to bunch everybody back up, but you guys were pretty tight racing up there, so that's what we were sitting here trying to talk about, trying to see what was going on. But
yeah, that was a lot better run there. We're looking forward to the rest of the race here.
I don't know, Kurt. Pop Bear is kind of running all the way back in P20. I think he just threw that to catch back up. What do you think?
I think he did too.
In that case, I'm throwing it every time I run back there.
Yeah, I think Papa Bear might have slipped and said "oops" and hit the caution, and then say, "Yeah, this is that planned competition caution that I was talking about." So, go get him, Papa Bear. We love to see you up there. Pete and I both would be super ecstatic to call you up into the podium slots and talk to you at the end of the night for winning this race.
Yeah, that would be awesome to do it in a truck against these Xfinity guys.
Yeah, you could be like Byron.
Yep.
Everybody wants to be like Byron.
All right, Papa, I'll send you back down there.
All right, thanks, guys.
Take it easy, sir.
All right, let's go grab your driver, Byron.
That sounds like fun. Where
Not
is
really, but we'll see.
P13, why not?
He's in the back, too.
And he used that fast repair.
Mr. Byron Jones, you got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do. What's going on, SWATs?
Trying to figure out what's going on here. Last season's All-Star winner, we talked about it. It's your only victory in turn down for what overall, but it's the biggest race of the season technically, other than a championship race. But I mean, this All-Star race to me is super exciting because you got both series on the track. And sometimes some guys don't race the Xfinity series, some guys don't race the trucks. Put them all on the track at the same time and go out and run. And last season, you were able to accomplish what pretty much most of us thought was impossible, which was win the entire event overall over Xfinity cars in a truck.
Yeah, it's been super exciting so far. I know there's been some parts where I'm like, oh man, I've seen a few wrecks happen right in front of me, but we're trying to keep this Patriot Esports Chevy Silverado nice and clean throughout the entire race. And I'm hoping at the end maybe we can repeat what we did last year and do that once again, but it's going to take a lot of patience for the end of this one tonight.
So repeat for the repeat sponsorship? Is that what you're
That's
throwing
right.
out there?
That's right.
Yeah, repeat for the repeat. We're going to repeat for Pete. It's going to happen. I'm telling you, I'm giving you my word. I'm going to be somewhere in the top 5 at the end of this one.
I tell you what, Byron, you go ahead and you grab this W. There's an extra $10 in it for you.
I like that. It gives me even more incentive.
Here.
What you got to
I'm
do
gonna
with a
go
zero
jump in
X.
the car real quick and jump on track. I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna jump with the pace car and maybe hit that 44.
No, Byron, I know you got got caught up in that block earlier that caused a lot of carnage. What is how are you going to try to work your way back up there, knowing what you know about how hard it is to get past these Xfinity cars by yourself? Is there anybody out there that you can work with to go ahead and try to go back to back here?
I mean, first of all, I got my dad. He's going to be the one that in his Cowtails 95, he's going to be one of those big helpers alongside 23 Nick Marshall, 69 of Joshua Roberts. I'm trying to see if I can't make friends with some Xfinity cars, because those guys seem to be the faster ones. If they can help me at the end, that would be huge too. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's also just total track awareness of knowing where everybody is and what moves to make and what times you should make them.
Well, but we know that you got that brand new PC. We know you're bad fast. You can see everything out there on track now. I know you're going to pull that U.S. Air Force Patriot Esports Silverado back up front. You got a friend in me. Go get him.
Yes, sir. Will do.
Wow, you got a friend in me. How corny, Pete.
I'm waiting for the reference here. I mean,
Come on, it's Toy Story. Come on.
come on. You can do this.
But
Right?
Byron, what do you got to do for your dad here? We see him kind of in the back, struggling a little bit. He's up 10 positions, but he's still in 16th. Are you going to reach over and tell him what to do here?
I don't know. We may need to swap after pit stops here. I may need to ban his car for a bit. No, it's just trying to get all of us within a certain spot where we can move together. I think is going to be a huge key to this all. If all 4 of us can line up, we'll be a-okay. But he's been struggling a little bit, trying to keep with the pack. It seems like his front is a little bit damaged for him.
All right. Well, I'll send you back down. You were in the Patriot Esports chat, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, good luck, and we'll see if we see you at the end of the night in that top 5 position or winning for that extra $10.
Will do. Thank you, guys.
I was going to
Alright.
say, sending me back down to Patriot Esports, I was going to start singing all by myself. But no, he's got his dad down there, Jeff Jones, Josh Roberts, and Nick Marshall. So we are going back, green flag racing. Let's go.
Yeah, this is going to get a little crazy here. We're coming up on halfway. These guys are flying through here. They're knocking off the laps. Yeah, we've had 4 cautions. The fourth caution, obviously, according to Papa, was a planned caution that we just weren't aware of. So we'll see where this goes. If another caution comes out in 10 laps that was thrown on purpose, we'll really talk to Papa Bear about throwing these cautions. But up front, you got the 25 of Mike Honcho or Jeff Lutton in real life. But everybody's kind of stuck with Mike Honcho as his name because that was his gamer tag on console. And it's kind of hard to get away from some of those. But Pacey Wygen in that 00 sitting right behind him. Those two are teammates in the truck series. So We'll see if they can help each other through here. The 54 Braden Holt looks really fast in whatever kind of paint scheme that is. I still can't figure it out. It looks like a lot of flames, but I thought it was Darth Vader, but I'm not really sure what's on the hood. But that 5 in the Pokemon, that would be, is that Mike Allen in the 5?
Yeah, Mike Allen in the 5, showing that Pokemon car on the scoring pylon, showing the 88. But yeah, how about these Xfinity cars leading these guys around? 00 Pacey Wagen, like you said, with 69 right behind. That's going to be Joshua Roberts. A good mix now of cars and trucks throughout the field, whether it's on the bottom line being led by Jeff Lednam or the top line by Braden Holt. It's what I'm starting to see is I think these guys have a little bit more knowledge about how these cars are acting. Really starting to see the 54 watching all the way up to the high line. He's staying right there in that middle line and keeping close tabs on the cars on the bottom, so he's not giving them too much room to really get the run. Doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, Pete. These guys are hauling mail around here. I don't know if everybody can hear the sounds of these cars rolling through here, but they are flying on this track, fully up to speed, full draft, and you can hear them how wound up they are. I mean, they're not as quite as wound up as maybe the early 2000s. You know, Ryan Newman at Atlanta, you know, setting the record or anything like those. The ones that are just screaming around that track, but these cars and what they can do, they are definitely up to speed. They are screaming. But Braden Holt out of line. That's going to put Mike Allen now in the middle with Chris Murphy. A third line appeared up on the top, and that's J-Paw getting up closer to Braden Holt, who was pushing J-Paw earlier. But that's going to put the two cars, the two Xfinity cars of Mike Allen and Chris Murphy stuck in that middle chute. But that third line doesn't look like it's going anywhere, and that's kind of surprising. I thought they'd fly right by those two.
Yeah, not just yet, but if they can get formed up, I absolutely believe that they can. You know, you're talking about Ryan Newman at Atlanta. I still remember Jeff Hammond being in the booth for that qualifying session, and he had said that Ryan Newman's car was set to kill, and he did just that. Set the brand new track record, grabbed the pole, and to this day, I don't know if that was ever beaten. I remember Tony Stewart joining the 200 Club at Atlanta and a couple other places, but yeah, I absolutely remember that qualifying session.
Yeah, those cars were definitely screamers back then.
Yeah.
I don't think we've come anywhere close to that kind of speed anymore. I think they've tuned these cars down so far that they can't get to those speeds. But that car, you could tell that thing was maxed out. And yeah, Hammond said it was set to kill. I mean, right as he came off pit road to start up his warm-up lap, I remember him saying it also. You know, he had this thing set to kill, and once he got the warm-up lap done, you could hear that thing. I mean, it was just maxed out, just screaming around that track, and it was stuck to the pavement. It didn't look like it was any higher off the pavement. If you could have slid a nickel underneath that thing, but it was so fast.
Yeah, it definitely, as the old saying goes, wound for sound. Yeah. And speaking of the car being wound for sound, this number 25, 00, still nose to tail. So you got an Xfinity car pulling a line of trucks, which is what they were saying they needed not too long ago. How about out there in chat, the one and only Expert Racing, XR Network. Hey guys, sorry couldn't make it tonight. Always good to see you pop up.
Yeah, I'd love to see those old cars come back, but I don't think we'll ever get back there with the amount of safety. You know, with the Joey Logano's out there in the world saying these cars are too fast when you slow them down on super speedways, things like that. But I really love those days back before. And I know a bunch of guys have talked about that the new NASCAR is not set for maybe the older generation of NASCAR fans. It's just not. It's not set for that. It's more for the newer generation of guys who just want to watch guys run around in the track and not be able to pass, in my opinion. I love the guys who, you know, could come from last to first, or, you know, we wouldn't be able to see a Dale Earnhardt come from, you know, ninth to first on Talladega. We wouldn't be able to see that. Not now. It's not possible. Just the speed isn't there. The packages are just all over the place. here on iRacing, they have done everything possible to put every type of package and make it as real as possible. When you jump in the seat of these cars or trucks or dirt cars or the Indy cars or the road course racing style cars, those ones, I like to continue to say it is the closest feeling you can get besides jumping in a real car. And I've been in a real NASCAR at Texas, being in a Dale Jr. car, and those, I can't say that I was, peeing my pants or nothing, but I can see where some people might get a little scared going around at 185 miles an hour. You definitely get the nerves up and shakes.
Man, I don't know if you've taken notice at your brother out there in that number 1, but he had the 27 tucked up underneath, talking about Chris Murphy, and they were coming to the front on that middle line. So a truck is able to get on up there and compete with others when the chips are on the table. Right now, he's kind of stuck on that outside and all by his lonesome now. And of course, just as I say that, the 5 has pulled up right behind him.
Yeah, Shad's not afraid to take a 3 wide on a super speedway. I know there's a few guys in the series that, have issues or whatever. We race together all the time. Guys, they get their, panties in a bunch or whatever you want to call it. But to me, he's one of the cleaner drivers to be around, in my opinion. I know that I can go 3 and 4 wide with him, and not just because my brother. I'd wreck him if I could, but. He is that clean of a driver. He does get a little hot-headed, 100%. I've dealt with it my entire life. But I would trust him out there. I would trust to be in the middle, or him be in the high lane, or be on the bottom, or be in the middle and take it 3 wide or 4 wide at Talladega. I would trust that, 100%. Not even afraid of it. There's a bunch of drivers in this group that I would never be afraid of to go 3, 4 wide. These guys are definitely skilled, and the more you drive around each other, it's going to happen. You're going to have spats and you wreck me. I mean, look at today in NASCAR. Denny Hamlin, he can say all he wants, but he put Chastain in the wall. And he said it at the end of the race. Oh, he ran out of racetrack. Yeah, he knew what he was doing. So I love
I've run with your brother in competitive races before. Yeah, I've run with your brother in competitive races before. The last one I ran in was at Atlanta Motor Speedway, and we all know how that one turned out. But and if he has, I was gonna drop it right. I really was. If your brother has some kind of an issue, if he makes a mistake, gets into somebody, whatever, usually in the chat it's like, oh man, I'm gonna have to apologize for that later or whichever. So yeah, everybody makes mistakes. Some of these seasons, are a bit long. And you can get to tracks where you're not that good, but you know what? You still got to show up and try to get max points, go for those championships, do what you got to do, and that's just the name of the game. Yeah, the 25 and 1 almost got together. I'm not sure if the 25 tried to come on up and dump a little air or try to drag them back just a little bit, but we got a 3 wide battle for P number 2, and it's all trucks. Look at this, first place truck. Talking about the 69 out there. Then you got the 00, and you got more. And I'm actually gonna get back up there right now. Yeah, 69 still leading, 98 00. Here comes Byron Jones, that was in that earlier wreck. Looks like he's on the bottom. He's gonna be able to securely and definitely take over P3. We got Papa Bear up in the outside wall.
That looked like Papa Bear and Shad in that one. And Pete, what I was noticing there is we had 3 different lines, but what I was going to say, and I didn't realize I was muted, was Shad and Mike Allen were 2 vehicles together on the outside line, and they were able to stick with the other 2 lines. The middle line had 4 or 5 vehicles. That bottom line had 9 or 10 in a line, and they were able to stick with it. If they had one more car out there, I think Shad and Mike would have actually went to the front. But we got a big issue here. We'll take a look and see what caused this one. I know Papa Bear's involved in it. I know Shad's involved in it. And I think there's a few other guys that might be involved in this one. So let's take a look, Pete.
I tell you what, Barney the flagman definitely, he seems mad waving that flag. I don't think
he was waving that a little hard.
Yeah.
NASCAR officials might have to talk to him about calming down.
You looked a little PO'd.
But, yeah, let's take a closer look here. We see Papa Bear in the middle there. Oh, and he just gets a little bit wobbly, and I don't think he was trying to make the move to get up into the third lane. I think he just got up tucked onto Chris Murphy there, and I think I've seen this before, Pete, and I don't know if you've had the same feeling on it, but sometimes when you try to get up to a car, it'll actually sling you off that car. It'll, like, it doesn't want you to be on the back bumper of that car, and I don't know if that's because it was a truck coming up onto an Xfinity car and the truck front end is different than, you know, an Xfinity front end getting on the back bumper of an Xfinity car, but I've had it sometimes where it has slung me off that car. Like, it didn't even allow me to get to the back bumper. It just pushed me away. But I don't think he was trying to go to the outside line. I think he just got shoved off of the 27 there of Chris Murphy. And unfortunately for him, there was guys on that outside line, and one of them was Shad, and I believe Mike Allen might have been involved in this also.
You know, that kind of makes me think about that first caution that we had where Zach Meredith pulled up and picked up the run, and the car behind him kind of did the same thing. It bounced off his rear end. It'd be interesting to talk to one of those guys and find out exactly what happened. If he did check up, but still hit the bumper and it shot him off, or did Zach Meredith just come up too late, which I didn't think he did. But why would you pull up when a car is coming 15 to 20 mile an hour faster? It'll be interesting to see, or maybe talk to one of those guys just a little bit later on to get the full story.
Yeah, I mean, I can pull up Papa Bear since it was involving him and see what happens, since he's our in-race reporter and owner of Turn Down for What. So let's pull him up there. Mr. Papa Bear, you got a copy, buddy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
All right, this time we're going to ask you a question because you were just involved in a caution there. What happened with your front bumper and the back bumper of the 27? From our point of view, it looked like it just slung you off of him, and when it did, it just shot you to the outside row. Or did you slip up and try to make a move? Did you know Shad was there or something like that?
Well, I knew them guys were on the outside. We had a good three wide battle going on, and then two of them jumped up out of Murphy's way. So I hopped on Murphy's bumper and was going to push him, and then the double O just came right down in front of him. Murphy checked up a little bit. I checked up way too much, and my truck got loose and just shot me straight up.
There you go.
All right, so it wasn't bumper to bumper action. It was just a checkup. So, all right. Not sure how many were involved in that one. Were you able to get your truck repaired?
Yeah, I still had my fast repair.
Oh, okay, that's right. You said you weren't in the earlier one. All right, so we're back racing, and we've got 35 to go now. You guys should be good on fuel. I would think trucks should be, what, 18? Xfinity should be right around 20?
Yeah, it showed me 17.9 right now. I just fueled up too while I was in there.
Dang, I'm good, Pete.
That's conceited, don't you think?
Just a little bit. But with the trucks being a little less fuel than the Xfinity cars, you guys should be able to sit behind them and save a little bit, though. But if we can get to a green flag stop here, this is going to get really strategical on who comes with who. Does trucks come with Xfinity? Does Xfinity try to go with a truck group, or things like that? What would be your scenario that you would do if that does happen here?
You have to repeat that, please, because I was in the middle of clearance.
No, that's all right. I was trying to ask if we can get green flags going here with Xfinity and trucks having different fuel mileage, and trucks being right around 18 and Xfinity being right around 20. If we go green and we have a green flag stop, it's going to get really interesting with strategic-wise to see who goes with who. Does Xfinity cars go with some trucks? Does trucks go with some Xfinity cars? Or do we see trucks break off because they're less fuel than the Xfinity cars? What would be your strategy going into that if that does happen?
My strategy is I would just work pretty good with 2 trucks and 2 Xfinity cars. And we moved right up through the field. So I'm hoping if that scenario does happen, I'm hoping to pit with a couple trucks and a couple of Xfinity cars.
All right. Well, we'll send you back down here as you guys are coming into turn 3 now. So good luck, and we'll see if we can get this thing going green and get some green flag pit stops going.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
All right, Pete, I got to grab somebody real quick because we have a new leader, and that is Mr. Enrique Quiones. Mr. Enrique, you got a copy real quick?
Yes, sir.
All right, bud. Just trying to quickly announce to you that you are the new leader. Your buddy, Cole Snyder, is sitting behind you. Did you guys work out any kind of deal before this race for him to push you to a win finally?
No, but we had been discussing it. I said, wonder if Kurt's saying something now that I'm in front.
Yeah, I just saw it. I was like, I gotta grab him. All
No,
right.
but we were just talking about it in the channel.
All right. Well, to everybody out there in chat, what I'm referencing is Mr. Enrique here has pushed his buddy Cole to multiple wins, but the favor has not been returned. So I made a joke a few weeks back about the 24 maybe pushing the 98 to a win finally. This could be the night, Enrique. Good luck, and tell Cole I said to push you to the end.
All right, appreciate it.
Good luck, Q.
Yo.
All right, green flag is back out. 98 is going to be the first one on the hammer. 24 right there with him, as well as the 19 of Jake Millsap. So you got some pretty good guys. Some J-Paw Army, J-Paw Militia, NAOR truckers down on that bottom line. And yeah, they're showing for all it's worth. And to their outside, yeah, there is that 00 TJ George and Son, I think it says. And Byron Jones, he's going to go ahead and go up to the outside, take it 3 wide. It's 3 wide, full of trucks and no Xfinity anywhere around them. Ooh.
Yeah, there's an Xfinity car. It's coming up on the outside, passing them all by himself. And that is Chris Murphy in the 27 with that throwback for Denny Hamlin, looks like. So he was coming strong on that outside by himself. And now he's got Shad, his teammate, back refreshed with a new truck after being involved in that incident just a second ago, and goes to the back of the field and now is right back up here where he was at, battling on the outside row. But this time he's got some teammates out in front of him with Chris Murphy and Pacey. And it looks like if that is the 25, that would be another teammate right behind him.
Yeah, top line really strong right now. You got a truck, you got a car, which is the combination that we saw earlier between your brother and the 27. So now Pacey up high, 44 in the middle, 98 and the 24 on the bottom. You can almost bet dollars to donuts that the 98, 24, and 19 are going to stick right there. Plus they got the 17 of Zach Meredith right back there as well in his Xfinity car.
Yeah, I mean the top line also is good, so you can probably expect that Pacey, Chris Murphy, and Shad, who are all 3 teammates, are going to stick together as well. But that middle line seems to be making some headway there, and that's the driver, Byron Jones, in that 44, making his way, and he's going to take the lead. Is he going to lead his first lap of the race, being pushed by old Mr. Bill Hales, returning to turn down for what? For his next gen series, and Byron does lead his first lap of the race. Is this a prequel to the end, Pete?
Well, I'll tell you what, that paint scheme that he's rocking is off of an A10 Tank Killer, old A10 Warthog. And man, he's burnt his wall all the way to the front. And yeah, he's side by side with the 98. Big props to my driver.
Yeah, Bill Hell's returning to turn down for what? He's going to run the next gen series. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Bill can do. I've run a lot of next gen races with him, and I really think he will be really fast in the next gen series. And he's a very good driver as well. So seeing him back in a truck, I don't think we've seen him in a truck very much in turn down for one. So it's surprising that he picked a truck to go with, but he is pushing Byron just really hard right now, and he's got another driver in the 69 who was on that outside row. And just I said that Bill bailed on Byron and went to the top line to be pushed by Pacey.
Yeah, but look how fast that 69 was able to suck up and get to the back end of that 44 and keep him going. So it could have been the sucker hole for Byron, but he's got a couple back there. He's got the 69, and he's also got the 71 of Papa Bear right behind.
Yeah, you got 3 teammates technically on the bottom line. You got 3 teammates on the top line, and then you got Zach Meredith. And if my graphics are correct here, Pete, am I seeing the engine of the 17 with no hood on that 17? I'm able to see right into the engine bay on it. And he is sticking with these guys. He's in the draft. I think if he was out front, he'd be slowing this group down. But him being tucked in behind a truck, he's tucked on 3 trucks technically. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trucks out in the top 8. That's crazy.
That's exactly what I was talking about earlier with the 3 car. He couldn't lead, but if he was tucked up behind somebody and had somebody behind him, he'd be good to go. I remember, NASCAR of yesteryear, Greg Biffle's car had enough, tape and plastic and Bondo and all that on the front. I mean, it was flapping in the wind. as he's tucked up behind somebody and still came home P2 with a car that was completely destroyed. It's just because of the draft. And if you got somebody behind you, somebody in front that can push and shove, or somebody that you can suck up behind, you can still be very competitive.
No.
Oh, we got cars over.
And that's going to take a whole big group of them out. Wow. And I think that was started with the 53 on the outside. I think the 00 was giving a push, and it upset the back end of that truck and turned it. We'll take a look here, Pete, but that's a lot of drivers, including our driver that we just talked to before, Byron Jones, in that 44 is going to have some major damage. He's got smoke pouring out the back of that truck right now. So let me see if I go find where this started. I'm pretty sure it started with the 53, so let's pull him up here, and we'll go take a look at this. There's a lot of cars in this one.
Yeah, there is. And yeah, you're right. Byron Jones definitely leaving some smoke trails behind that Warthog.
All right, let's find Bill Hills. I'll go with Far Chase on him, and we'll take a look. Oh, that's what it is. The 69 of Roberts came up and tagged the left rear of the 53P and turned him. I thought it was when the bump came from the 00, but it was not. It was actually further into the field there with the middle line. The 69 pulled up the track just a little bit and touched the left rear. And, yeah, that's going to cause Shad to be involved, Byron to be involved. And it looks like a lot of guys went down pit road to maybe avoid that. I see Nate Lehman, J-Paw, and a few others down pit road to try to avoid that. They're probably going to ask for black flags to be cleared for avoiding that. But Papa Bear's son, Mike, in the 11 was also involved in that one. There's a lot
and the
of
car
guys.
that we were just watching, the 17, the Zach Meredith that had no hood, he went down pit road, used the one fast repair that he had. He's got a hood, came back down again. He's going to go ahead and top off, and he will be good to go. So up at the lead now, old Mike Allen in that number 5 Pokemon card. He's got a little bit of damage to the back end of that thing, but not too bad. But he's going to go ahead and lead a lap, and he'll be the first one on the throttle once we go back green.
Pit road is busy. It kind of looks like Days of Thunder with all the cars you've seen coming down the dusty roads of, I think it was Darlington, or was it Darlington? Dover? One of those two. When he came down there, it was all dusty, and you seen, who is it, John C. Riley holding up that sign and all the dust and everything, and he whips it right into the pit wall. There's a lot of cars on track right now. I mean, those days back then, when Days of Thunder was made, obviously, you had full list of cars on track, 43 cars. Those races were packed.
Oh yeah,
you don't see that anymore.
No, you don't.
What's the max?
Now,
39 or something like that.
I was just gonna say the same thing. Yeah, they've lessened the amount of cars that compete every week, whether it's in Cup, Xfinity, or truck. And yeah, I know originally the reason they did that is they couldn't keep sponsors. It's when NASCAR started to take a real big downward spiral after Dale Earnhardt died, and everybody's saying, oh, it's no longer a racer's world now, it's a corporate world, and blah blah blah. And yeah, there was a lot of money leaving NASCAR, so they lessened the amount, and then they came out with the charter system. That's changed a lot as well. So hey, NASCAR has tried to change with the times. I just don't personally know, in my opinion, if all the changes have been for the better.
No, and Jim Blankenship out there in the chat right now saying wow for that big wreck. He and I had a discussion, and I absolutely agree. The soul of NASCAR, in my opinion, was Dale Sr. And when he passed, it changed so much. Everybody was so, safety concerned, and everybody needed this or that, or we need to update the cars, we need to put the foam inside the cars, we need to put the safer barrier, which some of those things I think were great. They've saved a lot of guys. I mean, we've seen wrecks even today at Pocono where they extended that pit road at Pocono, an extra 60 feet further down the front stretch towards turn 4 or turn 3, where guys were spinning out of that turn 3, and they would go down pit road and hit the inside of the pit road wall. Now they extended that whole wall to where now they hit the wall. And Blaney today hit the end of it right by the barrels. And if that extra 60 foot wasn't there, he would have definitely ran right into the inside pit wall. That's dangerous. There's guys, there's pit personnel, there's reporters, there's fans, things like that are all down there, and I get that part of the safety. The whole Joey Logano complaining about the speed and things like that, and I don't agree with some of that, but I don't agree with some of the packages that they do, or changing the spoiler, or the restrictor plate, and dropping the horsepower and all the different power changes that they do to the packages. I'm not a big fan of all that stuff, but I just really feel like NASCAR just shifted when Dale was gone, and I agree. I don't know if I personally agree with all of the changes that they've done with the playoffs and the points and the charters and all that kind of stuff. I personally don't agree with it. I like the old style of bumping and banging, and Dale Sr. was one of the biggest ones. You feared him. That's why he was the intimidator. You knew if he got behind you, he was going to move you for a win. It was no doubt about it. You just when it was going to happen. Now today, people look at Roush Chastain and, oh, he's too aggressive. He needs to calm down. I don't think so. Go balls to the wall. Do what you got to do. If you get turned at the next race because you wrecked to win the race, just deal with it. That's how I look at it. So I don't know. I think we'll see where NASCAR goes. I'm kind of interested to see in the next couple of years if Dale Jr. is able to get Junior Motorsports up into the Cup Series. I know he'll have to break away from Hendricks, but I'm kind of interested to see what happens, when that kind of stuff, or when some of these older drivers that are in there right now, Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex, Kevin Harvick, when those guys retire, who's going to be the guys that step up? Is it going to be just Chase Elliott? I don't know.
I don't know either. But yeah, we're going back. Green Flag Racing. Mike Allen, Cole Snyder, Enrique, Jeff Jones, and Nick Marshall going to be your new top 5. A lot of guys, we're taken out with that wreck. Pop Bear out there in chat saying, "Dang it, Yotes King." We were just talking to old Byron. He says, "I'm done. Man can't catch a break. Was getting ready to back out too." Just very, very unfortunate. But it looks like 24 with some help there on that outside.
From the 98.
Yep.
He's gonna bail on him.
Wow.
Oh wow. See, now if I was Enrique and I just saw that, there ain't no way I'm pushing Cole for another win. I am not doing it. But those two are really close friends. They hang out all the time on different racing. We're actually a whole group of them are going to the Bristol night race. I'll be going myself, so we'll see if I can meet some of these guys that we race with. But I can't believe he bailed on him, Pete. Those two have worked together in so many speedways, and Cole has been the victor on almost every single one of those. So I'm kind of surprised Enrique, if he goes back to pushing the 24, I don't know. I think Enrique needs to just say, you know what, tonight's about me. I'm going to the front.
Oh yeah, I mean, Q-Dog, Enrique, he needs a W. The guy is a lot of fun to race around, a lot of fun to talk to. Known Q for quite a few years now.
All of us here have known each other for several years.
Talking about Dale Earnhardt and all that, everybody says, "Oh, I remember exactly where I was when I heard about it." Unfortunately, that when they started putting up the safer barriers and all that, that was probably one of the biggest reactive things that NASCAR has ever done. They started to mandate the Hans device and all that right about that time, and unfortunately, the safer barriers were the result of Dale's wreck. It was never a proactive thing. There were people that were talking about having those done well before that happened, and it's just unfortunate that NASCAR had to lose its biggest star and its biggest championship winning driver besides Richard Petty at the time, before Jimmy Johnson went up and tied him as well. But man, unfortunately that was a reactive rather than a proactive stance from NASCAR. Who knows what NASCAR would be like today if Dale Sr. hadn't passed just then.
Oh yeah. But Pete, speaking of another driver, the 00 has gotten past the 98, and he's worked his way right into the front pack, and the 98 is giving him the shove that he was giving the 24 before, and I think the 24 is going to regret bailing from his teammate and longtime pusher of the 98 of Enrique. He seems to be, in my opinion, one of the best pushers in Turn Down for What, period. He's so good at pushing. It's probably why he's pushed so many people to wins. If I'm out on track in a super speedway and I got Enrique behind me, I'm thinking I'm feeling pretty good with going to get a win. But these guys are definitely moving. And Byron Jones, he might be out of the race, but his dad's still out on track in that 95, and he's coming up on the outside in that orange truck. Oh, and Enrique, did he just give Pacey a little bit of a twist there as they came out of the corner? Pacey shoots up the track, and he's going to get stuck on that outside line with all these guys pushing on the bottom. But another driver I want to talk about, Pete, is Mike Allen. You and I know him. We've known him for a long time. Old-time gamer, Ramset. He's gone through all kinds of different issues with his lungs. He's had surgeries. He's got another surgery coming in. Oh, hold that. We got a big wreck going on behind him, Pete. I think.
Yeah, it looks like that 95 that you were just talking about got spun to the inside. And 21 laps to go. 20 laps to go. And some big issues out there. See your brother in that one. The front end of his truck was all mangled as well. But caution's back out.
Yeah, that's going to involve Shad, Chris Murphy, Jeff Jones, Nate Lehman, J-Paw. I think Jose Ruiz might have squeaked through that one. Like maybe Jake Millsap, was he involved in that? Stan Carnathan was through. Dale Rapp was through. So there's a few of them that were definitely involved in this one. A couple of them might have a couple dents they might have to pop out. Talking to Harry Hogg and getting that side fixed or whatever. But there's a couple drivers out here that are still clean. And guess who our leader is, Pete? That old 98 of Enrique Quiones.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you, Harry doesn't want his crew spoiled, so I'm sure once he gets out of the car, he's going to walk up, give it a big old swift kick. That way they got to pound it out, back at the shop. And, I know you know what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah. But, man, good ice cream. Yeah. But, Mike Allen in that number 5 Pokemon car. The man, like you said, he's been going through a lot, but he has got a heart of gold. The man gives away a lot of memorabilia as the season goes on, whether it's his die-cast collection or whatever else. Plus, he's a woodworker, so he likes to give away things that he builds, little trinkets and whatnot. So good to see him up here inside the top 3.
Yeah, let's take a look and see what happened here. As I'm on the 95 of Jeff Jones right now. It looks like that is the 02, which I am not sure who the 02 is tonight, but can you see a name? Oh, Marshall, Nick Marshall. So he comes up and he gives the 95 just a little bit of a tap, and it moves him up the track a little bit, and it gets him sideways when he hits him the second time and turns him right down into the 11 of Mike Campbell, the third. Unfortunately, that's going to bring a few other cars, and I can't tell. When the 22 and the 14 go by, do they make contact with the 95?
They don't make contact with the 95, but the 22 does all of a sudden have a big old dent on his left
14.
rear.
Yeah. The 14 and him definitely make contact. So I don't think that's going to hurt him too much, Pete.
No, not on the backside, not like that. I mean, on this track, unless you're up front, it might give a little bit of drag. But behind, no issue, and besides that, you're getting shoved from those back panels anyway. So I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue for J-Pod at all.
So I'm looking at the drivers, Pete, and I'm looking at the pit strategies here, and I'm noticing that almost everybody came down pit road there except for our 2 guys out front in Xfinity cars, and they're both on 8-lap runs here. That would be Jeff Ludnam and Andrew Chapman, who we noticed earlier had the damage. It looks like he's still got a little bit of damage there. But both of them did not come down pit road. Now, we talked to the drivers earlier, and they said Xfinity was about 20 laps for fuel. We've got 19 to go, and they've been out there for 8 laps. I don't think they could save underneath this caution enough to finish this race. Now, trucks, we heard, was 18. We have 19 to 20 to go when they came out of the pit road. They could, push that clutch in. They could turn the truck off, conserve a little bit of fuel, sit back in the group a little bit and conserve and run half throttle, things like that. Those guys might be able to pull off a victory with not having to pit again. But Pete, I really don't know if the 25 and the 3 can make it without some kind of miracle here with extra cautions. And maybe that's what they're looking for. Maybe their strategy is, hey, this is just the start of a chain of cautions with guys pushing it to try to get this all-star win, and maybe we can be out front and just conserve under each caution. I don't, what else would there be, Pete?
Yeah, no, I could think maybe they were sitting in the back, drafting, saving fuel before this caution came out, wondering, if the caution flies, are we going to have, caution breeds cautions kind of a scenario, which usually happens. When we did the Chicago race the other evening for the Sim Racing channel that'll be broadcast on Roku come August the 1st, they, those last, 35, 40 laps, it was, elbows up on the wheel, and you're trying to get after it. That could be what these guys are doing now, but with them leading, they're going to be expelling the most amount of fuel. So I don't think they're going to have what it takes to go to the end unless we get a bunch of cautions. We'll have to see.
Yeah, let's grab Mike Concho real quick and just ask him. Mr. Mike Concho, Jeff London, we got a copy, buddy.
What's up, man?
All right, trying to figure out this strategy you got going on here. You've been out there on track for 9 laps. We were told pit strategy-wise, as far as fuel, Xfinity cars could only go about 20. Do you have enough in the fuel tank with being able to conserve underneath this caution? Or are you hoping for more cautions and be able to save underneath those?
I'm trying to conserve. I can't do no green white checkers. I'll put it that way.
All right, so it's going to be close.
Yeah.
All right, well, you've done a great job of getting that car up front.
Yeah, I'm not thinking it's going to go green all the way, so.
There it is.
All right, well, cautions do breed cautions, as Pete always likes to say, so we'll see if you can keep that machine out front, that snap-on machine. You got the number 25 on the side of the car, which I was a little surprised about, but we'll see if you can get to the end here.
All right, man. I'm going to try.
Go get him, Honcho.
There is no try. There is only do.
All right. Yeah.
All right. Good luck, bud.
Thank y'all.
See,
Try,
Pete, I
try
got
not.
lines
Do or do not.
Oh, Pete, this is going to get interesting. We got 18 to go. We've got guys with fuel mileage. We've got all kinds of stuff going on here. We got trucks. We got Xfinities mixed together. We got fuel strategies. We got tire strategies. And I'm looking at that 98, Pete. I don't know what it is, but I would love to see the 98 get a win. I know he's pushed the 24 so many times, and he's to his outside. Are they going to get linked up again, or does the 98 finally say, you know what, I've pushed you enough. I'm going for the win myself. You can push me.
Well, I tell you what, it's going to be interesting because they were saying they needed to latch onto an Xfinity car. Well, an Xfinity car is now leading both lines. 24 is going to go ahead and shove that 3 all he can. That Red's Apple Ale. I remember when Keselowski ran that scheme.
Oh,
24 came on down across the hood.
Oh, and he saves it. He comes back up on the track. No caution. He's going to lose a ton of positions, and he is not going to stick with the cars on the draft, so he is going to go to the back, and it is not going to be pretty for him. That could be the end of the 24 tonight, unless we have a caution before he goes a lap down, Pete. I think it's over for the 24, but... Oh, and there's the caution. Never mind. Let's figure out what this was for. I don't think they threw that because of that, right?
Yep. Pop Bear threw the flag.
Alright, let's pull Pop Bear.
Uh-oh.
Pop Bear
Pop
Campbell.
Bear, you're in trouble.
Didn't do it.
What was that caution for, bud?
We had the whole field got split up from that, so all-star race. Let's keep it competitive. Let's throw the caution and get everybody packed back up.
All right, so Papa Bear got separated from everybody and threw a caution again. That's what I'm hearing.
Oh no, I'm sitting in the pits. Me and Byron are sitting up here in cruise control, keeping an eye on things up here now.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, we saw the 24 make a spin, but he corrected it and kept it going on the apron, so we didn't see anybody going around anywhere else, and we were just wondering what was going on there. But I get it. Stack the field. It's an all-star race. Why not? restack them, and see if they can make it to the end here again.
That's right.
All right. Well, I'll send you back down to the general tab with everybody else, and you and Byron keep doing what you're doing in the pits.
All right. Thank you.
All right, Pete. So they want to rack them and stack them again and see what happens here. I don't know if the 24 can make it back up there, but Cole's really fast at super speedways. He's won a bunch of super speedways, and actually, I think he's the most winningest super speedway driver in turn down for what, as Nate Lehman has kept the stats on every single race for 5 seasons for wins, where he won it, all that kind of stuff. He's got a lot of time on his hands to figure all that out, because I definitely couldn't have figured it out. But he's done so, and yeah, Cole Snyder is our most winningest super speedway driver in turn down for what, with I believe 4. So could he make it back up there? I don't know, but I wouldn't count him out, I guess.
That's amazing that he's got those numbers.
Oh, it's crazy.
I mean,
you read through those
really
things?
Is.
It's an Excel sheet. Like, he's got sheet after sheet after sheet between trucks, Xfinity, labeled what season. He's got wins. He's got a tab for, track records, track of most laps led, most wins, who's won more at this track or that track, who's won it more at road courses. He's got it all broken down, and it's insane. I mean, as a teacher, he's got the whole summer to figure it out, I guess, but there's no way I'd have been able to figure it out.
Does he have most bonehead moves getting on and off pit road at Atlanta Motor Speedway?
I might have to look to see if he has that one. If he does, I think the record is 3, and I believe you hold that record.
Oh my, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the race that could have been. But yeah, we'll have to see if this number 25 or this 3 are able to do anything now that everybody will be back and rack and stack back up behind them. And yeah, there's the 0-2. There's quite a few back here. Enrique Quinones, he's going to restart P number 4, so he'll start up high behind that number 3 where the 24 was before. 24 tried to come on down and pick up the 98, but it wasn't meant to be. Instead, came across somebody's hood, spun down. Great job by him to hold off, coming back up as long as he could. But as soon as everybody had passed, for the most part, was able to get back up, grab a gear, and keep on going. So we'll have to see. The lights atop the pace truck are still on. They'll be turning off momentarily. These guys will go back. Will go back green next lap.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's look through this list here real quick. Who's in the top 10 that we could talk to? Let's see. We got Mike.
How about
Honcho.
Jose? How about Jose Ruiz?
Oh, yeah,
the man is the man's racing just
feeling.
after a major surgery. That's just huge props to, by itself.
Absolutely. Just had his appendix out, so I definitely feel for him. Let's see how he's feeling. Mr. Jose, you got a copy, buddy?
Hey, what's up?
What's going on? Just checking in, Pete and I, to see how you're feeling with knowing what you just went through this week. You weren't even planning on racing tonight because your doctor told you not to drive for a couple of weeks. But you're out in the driver's seat anyways at Talladega. How are you feeling, and how's the racing going with you feeling like you are?
Going pretty good right now. A little sore once I stand up. I feel fine now, but I know once I get up, it's gonna hurt a little bit. But that's why they
Just
give
sleep
me.
in your racing
Or that's
seat.
why I'm taking. Yeah. So let's see. What was I gonna say? No, race is going pretty good. Just right in the back, end of the race. I am up here now, so. But we'll see how it goes. I don't have any damage, so hopefully I can get to the front.
You
So
got
your car a little
pace now?
faster since you're a little bit lighter in that seat?
It feels like it.
Took 5 pounds out. It's all right.
I know. I'm in like I said, I'm in a dining table chair, which is not very comfortable. I'm used to my play seat chair, so
Oh.
my
yeah.
back's hurting, but that's.
Is it one of
it's
those
all right.
wooden dining
We're almost
room
done.
chairs?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's what I sit in every time I race or broadcast. It's not fun. I sit on a pillow though, so.
No. I'm trying to work a pillow. I got a computer chair cushion behind me, but it's not really working. So
Gotcha.
we're almost
Well,
done, though.
Yeah, you've only got 14 to go here, or 13 to go when you cross that line. What's your strategy to get to the front and win this race?
Hope and pray that I don't get wrecked. Hopefully, stay on the bottom, but I don't know, wherever the hole is open, I'm gonna probably try to go through them.
All right. Well, I hope you feel better, and you know, something that'll definitely make you feel better is winning this race. But don't get too excited if you cross that finish line and win. Don't jump up out of the chair or nothing on us.
Oh no, yeah, that's not gonna feel good. I'll probably be crying
No
on the
arm
ground.
pumping or Tiger Woods throwing the hand or nothing like that. Don't do that.
Yeah,
Go get him,
definitely not.
Jose.
All right.
Yep. I can't believe he's racing.
Right.
I had mine taken out a couple years ago, and I mean they blew my chest up with air and everything, and I could not. I couldn't move for a couple of days. I mean I was good probably after a week when the air kind of subsided, but yeah, it was not a good feeling. So
Not at all. Green
luck on
flag
him.
back out. Here we go again. 25 was your control car. He's hard on the go-go juice, and it looks like the 0-2 is going to be right behind him. 3 again, not able to get up and get going too much. 69 came on down and stacked up the bottom line. In fact, one truck kind of pinned between 2 tires on the track and 2 tires off. Able to come on back up. 3 is going to fall back to P5 in less than a lap.
yeah, we got Mike Honcho, Jeff Lovenham out front with Nick Marshall trailing him in that 0-2. And we got Josh Roberts, who was involved in that issue earlier, and then the 98 of Enrique sitting there in 4th. Andrew Chapman and Dale Rapp swap positions for 5th and 6th back there. And you got that 3 car with the damage on it on the outside trying to lead that 3rd line with J-Paw pushing him. Then you got that 23 we just saw of Jose Ruiz swing from the inside line all the way to the outside line, comes back down to the middle line, but he's got nobody behind him. There's a gap between him and that 95 orange truck of Mr. Jones back there, and he's actually side drafting and pulling up next to these guys essentially by himself. Josh Roberts sees it and pulls out and tries to get behind him. Wow, is he fast on the outside by himself. Now he is going against trucks on the outside of them. Now we'll see what happens when he gets to Jeff.
Yeah, he's going to pull to the outside. 0-2 is going to pull up. This is something that your brother was talking about, that the trucks didn't necessarily suck up to the back end of the Xfinity cars the way that they did last year. But he's got a big old push from
Brady Holt
behind
coming to
with
the
the
outside
98.
with major speed. Whew, I thought he was going to tuck in behind that 28. Whew, that was close.
Yeah, very, very close. Definitely got to watch the lines. They don't go down to the bottom every time you come through there, and luckily enough, they did that time. A little bit more jockeying, a little bit further back from about mid-pack on. 25's come up.
Wow, there's a lot of 3-wide racing up here with trucks and Xfinity cars. These guys are pushing it for everything they got to go get this win in this All-Star race. Truck, Xfinity car does not matter. They want the win overall. But Braden Holt should be pushed by J-Paw on the outside, and they're going to go to the front, I think.
Very, very close to it. If not, Jose's going to kind of move up. Jose was able to find a clear hole.
No.
In front of.
Woo, big save by the 0-0. Wow. Pete, he was sideways coming through there.
Yeah.
That was crazy. I got to point out, too, that's the 11. That's Papa Bear's son, Mike. He's been involved in at least 3 incidents tonight, and he's got a brand new car. Looks like he used his fast repair, and he's flying to the front. He is right on the tail of J-Paw and Braden Holt, who have taken to the outside line and have now passed everybody on that middle line, and they are now the outside line to Jose Ruiz, who we just spoke to, taking the lead from Jeff Ludnam, who's pushing him right now.
Yeah, 28-25. They are nose to tail on the bottom side. 54 and double deuce of J-Paw up top. And yeah, like you said, there is that 11 for Mike Campbell. Yeah, hey, man, it's under 10 laps to go. You gotta go.
Oh yeah, there's no time like now to go. If you wait any longer, I mean, I get maybe not going for the lead, but I mean, if you could get to the lead, go to the lead. But you want to position yourself now. This is what these final laps kicking down. This is what you're doing, is you're positioning yourself. Braden and J-Paw, they position themselves on the outside line, nose to tail. J-Paw is that scary speedway racer. Do we think J-Paw is going to stick with Braden coming to the finish line? I don't think so. I think Enrique is probably going to get to the back bumper of J-Paw, and they're probably going to go by Braden. But this is the time. You want to position yourself up here in the front pack, and that's what Mike Campbell III has done. He's sitting there 3rd or 4th on the outside row in that 11 car, and he's got a brand new Toyota. we saw him earlier with no hood, so he's used that fast repair, and he is up here just wide eye and trying to go to the front as fast as possible.
You'll have to see what happens if that 54 and 22 catch up to the outside of Jose Ruiz and the 25, and if they're clear, will the 54 come on down and leave the 22 out to dry, or will that be the 22's best possible scenario? Then he'll have some buddies right behind shoving for all it's worth, and we know the 22 can get it done.
Yeah, I got to point out too, we saw that 24 earlier that we saw. He's back there, right there in the fifth, on the outside line as well in that 24 truck. He's crept his way back up in here. These guys are stacked up. The guys who are remaining are guys who have made it through, saved their fast repairs, or have a little bit of damage, and they're still back out here fighting for this thing. Zach Meredith sitting in that bottom lane in the 4th spot. He didn't have a hood earlier. Now he's got a clean car. He's out here running, and I wouldn't count him out either for going for this win. He's super fast from two ways as well. I mean, there's so many different drivers in this front pack here. Any one of them could win this thing, because we could have a caution at any moment with the speed and flying around the track.
Oh, absolutely. And I tell you what, 28-25, they just had one hell of a run. The 0-2 back there, that's pretty. Who is the 0-2 is Nick Marshall. He's actually got my logo across his tailgate. I had not seen that before. That's actually pretty cool. But the bottom two, 28-25, they actually got a real big shot and were able to completely clear the 54 and the 22. They could have actually taken that momentum and picked up that middle line, but no, instead they decided to keep it low, and there they are still. Keeping up with the sights and sounds of Talladega, still side by side. Several rows back, it looks like they just took the green flag. 28 of Jose Ruiz that we just talked to. Yeah, the guy just had his appendix out. He wasn't gonna race like what Swats was saying earlier. But he's here. He's uncomfortable. But you know what? You hear about NASCAR Cup, Xfinity, and truck drivers racing, beaten up every now and then, broken this, broken that, sprained this, sprained that, coming down with the flu, whatever. And sometimes they actually do better. Look at Kyle Busch, when he won his championship. He broke his leg at the beginning of the season at Daytona, missed several weeks, was able to come on back, win when he had to, gain points when he had to, and was still able to win the championship. Some of the sick drivers, they go into the care center before race, they get an IV, they come on out, they feel like $1 million and go on and do very, very well. Or they race sick, and because they've got that extra focus, they seem to do really well throughout the race. Who knows, maybe this is Jose's turn in that Dr. Pepper number 28.
Yeah, Pete, I didn't realize it was on, but I wanted to give a big shout out to looks like Dele, which is Papa Bear's granddaughter, is out in the chat, Mike Allen's granddaughter, is rooting on Mike Allen, who's in this mix. So he is not out of it by any means. He's still right there in the mix. He's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars back in that Pokemon car. So she's out here rooting on her grandfather. Definitely a huge shout out to Mike Allen. See if he can pull this thing off. But there's a lot of good drivers mixed in here, Pete. And I don't know who's going to come out of this, if we'll make it to the green. But I do realize that I've got this cool camera that I didn't know I had, and it is the photo finish line. So as they come across the finish line, I'm going to have that camera up. So if this thing is super close, like we've seen many times, we've seen them come sideways across this finish line. I've seen them all over the place. I've seen guys up on 2 wheels. And this is the view I was talking about, the photo finish. So when this thing comes to a conclusion and now 4 laps to go, I will have this camera pulled up as they come to this finish line and see who takes this thing as a victory.
Well, I'll tell you what, J-Paw's been pushing that 54 for all it's worth, and at times making them or getting them just a little bit squirrely. 54 coming on down just a little bit, maybe trying to side draft the 25 and the 28, trying to pull them back. so they can get back with the 22. And there they are yet again, completely side by side. The 25 not letting go of the 28's rear bumper. What's that?
5 just got moved by the 00, it looked like. Got moved out to the third lane. He's going to get right behind the 00 again. He's got to break up that outside line, P. I don't know if 4 cars like that. So I don't know if 4 cars like that can really manage. If they don't get, well, here comes more cars. So I was going to say, if they don't get a couple more cars in that outside line, I don't think they can make it up to the front. But they're starting to move now with some other cars jumping in line. And Jose, though, is looking strong out front.
Oh, yeah, Jose's got all kinds of clean air on the hood of that Dr. Pepper Supra, and the 25 has not left his bumper. I would imagine by now the 25 would have had to have ducked out for some clean air, but absolutely shoving that 28 Toyota for all it's worth. If Jose goes on to win this, he's going to owe that 25 a big old beverage if they ever meet up at a track. 54 up on the high side, still with the double deuce of J-Paw up there. We're going to be coming to 1 to go this time.
Dude, Pete, where did Hunter Peach come from? He's mixed back in here. We saw him wreck out in the beginning of the race, and he's back in the field. So he's pushing the outside line with Zach Meredith, and he's in here. So I don't know what's going to happen here, but we're going to come down to the end. The only thing I'm worried about is Jeff Ludnam said he wasn't sure if he could make it to the end. He thought he could, but they wouldn't be able to go green, white, checkered. He's on his 26th lap. We didn't think it was more than 20 that they could go in the Xfinity cars. So if he runs out coming out of 4, there's going to be a whole bubble of cars. Whoa, 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 whoa. We got cars wrecking on the inside coming into turn 3. It is the final lap, though. They're going to run to the finish line, Pete.
Yep, coming to the finish line, 28-25. I think the 25 might have been able to save just enough. If not, he's going to be sputtering. 28 looks like he's going to come across the line. 54 is going to come on down, try to side draft. Coming to the line, side by side, J-Paw spins him. 28's going to win it.
Woo! And Jose Ruiz, who just had surgery, was it 3 days ago, got his appendix taken out, and he is in the race tonight. Wasn't even planning on racing, and he wins the AllStar race. And look at that flag guy, just swinging that flag around. But for the race finish there, let's go back and take a look at this thing, because it was all over the place. Looked like J-Paw got turned to the outside wall as they came closer to the finish line. Let's take a look and see what happened here. There's a lot of guys that went off track. Yeah, he's got some arms to be able to swing it like that. Paid him some extra money. All right, so let's find J-Paw on this thing. I'll rewind because it seems like he's off track already, so let's pull him up. But let's go back and check out Jose Ruiz burnout.
There you go. Yeah, Jose, light him up. Taking a page from Joey Logano's book, get a little bit of momentum, then spin it around, try to get as much of a smoke show going as you can.
Oh, and he tries to break it on the finish line, and we've got a truck out there on the finish line. Those guys are supposed to go down pit road and let the victor do his burnouts, but I'm going to have to give a talking to Q-Dog. He knows the rules. He's an admin. But, yeah, Jose and this Dr. Pepper machine, we're going to talk to the top 3, which is going to be Jose Ruiz, Jeff Ludnam getting his first top 3 in a long time, and Zach Meredith won 2 races in a row to finish out the Truck Series. He brings it home 3rd tonight. We'll talk to those 3 here in just a minute. We'll be right back. All right, Pete, we are back for the burnout lane that I've got going on for KS Gaming 51 Broadcasting. And top three are coming into the booth, but we're going to do a little bit different because it is the All-Star race and we have trucks and Xfinity in this race. So we're going to bring up a couple of the drivers from each of the series, finishing the top three in both. We'll talk to all of them here, Pete. So let's go with, you can go ahead and talk to Zach first.
Zach Meredith, old Bills fan. My wife loves the cars that you run. By the way, congratulations on this P3. Started a little bit further, about what P7, P8, give or take, and you worked your way up, led some laps, had some issues, lost your hood, came down pit road, used your fast repair, and from there on out, you were on a tear. Great race for you. This race is always a lot of fun, but in the beginning, that first caution, got to ask you about that block on the high line. What prompted you to come on up and try to pick up the run, knowing that they were going to be just a little bit quicker than you?
See, that's it right there. I thought they were going to be a little bit quicker than me, not a lot quicker than me, a little bit. And
They had the boosters
I could, yeah, they really did, because I didn't think they were gonna just be so much faster, because I was like, okay, it's me, Braden, J. Paul, and I think Peach. I was like, okay, I got all friends up there. We will all ride the high line, and yeah, that did not happen. There was just I shouldn't have blocked. I should have just stayed on the bottom, just let them go by me, and just fell in line behind them. But you live and you learn. But yeah, I lost my hood when I ran through Millsap when he turned straight into Murphy, and then just fixed all my damage and just rode around and until I got caught up in another big one, which I did by somebody in the middle by not holding a line or something, and then used it, and then I just try to stay up front after that, try to find my teammates and try pushing J. Paul, pushing Braden to the win, and then we just all hooked each other at the line and lost. So.
I mean, that was a lot of fun. It's been a while since I was actually in the booth with Swats or anybody else for one of these turned down for what races out. And a lot of personal things going on here as of late. But buddy, congratulations. Good to talk to you again.
Thanks, bud. I appreciate it. Glad you had fun.
Always. Swats.
I'm not sure who to take here. I'm going to take Enrique, since he's up here in the booth. He's the first truck that actually crossed the finish line to win for the truck series. Mr. Q-Dog, you up here?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
All right, so you didn't win the race overall. You didn't cross finish line first in the whole race. But you did win for the truck series. So if the Xfinity cars weren't on the track, you would have won your first super speedway race. I said it multiple times. We talked to you during the race about Cole maybe pushing you to a win. We did see him bail on you when you pushed him out to the front. But you bring it home first for the trucks. Obviously, you brought home fifth overall with 4 Xfinity cars out in front of you. But being the first truck to come across finish line, what does it mean to you to win overall for the trucks?
It was a pretty cool race. I feel like I stayed in mostly in the top maybe 5 to 6 all race. Though me and Cole were joking around, I have some nice choice words in our team chat, and I'll keep to myself on that move that he put on me there. But no, all in all, it's pretty cool to have a truck run up here with the Xfinity guys. When I saw the opportunity there to get behind J-Paw and run with Braden, J-Paw, Bills there, I obviously had to take that, and boys carried me to 5th and tried to do what I could to help that line go and get Braden a win. But obviously things happened at the end, but it was a fun race.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it'll count in the record books as your first win in the trucks for the All-Star race, but I think it should, because I think I know a lot of the guys we talked to and during the race here, guys were saying, "Oh, I want to be the number 1 car to pass the finish line. I want to beat the Xfinity cars if I'm at a truck. I want to beat the trucks if I'm in the Xfinity cars." But the real goal of this was to put the trucks and the Xfinity on the same track, to have 2 different winnings for each series, and then an overall winner for the race. So, in my opinion, there was 3 goals for the night. You got one of them, the first truck to pass the finish line. So, in my book, that counts as your win for the truck series, whether or not it'll be in there or not. We'll have to talk to your good buddy Nate Lehman to make sure that's thrown in there. But great race for you. You were up front most of the time. I saw that 98 up there all the time. Super fast. So I'm glad to see you get the win over Cole this time, and you could put that on Twitter or I'll comment on it or something. But I know you were looking forward to getting a win, and you got the win tonight for trucks.
Yep, appreciate it. And guess I know an admin or two to try to get, to try to persuade them to get me
Yeah.
get this one account.
I do got to mention that since you said about admins. But there was an admin rule, I believe, and you broke it. What were you doing on the finish line?
I have no idea what she's talking about.
I do because it's on stream. I flipped to it just as Jose ran right into you. So I was trying to figure it out. I'm like, oh, come
All I
on.
heard was-
I'm like,
all I heard
Enrique
was-
knows the rule.
All I heard was I was the winner and go do burnouts. That's all I heard.
Well, Jose didn't realize that because he ran right into you. So if that's the case, then that makes sense, and I'll take back my admin joke there. But yeah, Jose didn't know that because he ran right into you. So, but yeah, good job, great win for the trucks, and we'll catch you next. Well, actually, catch you this Tuesday, I think, for next gen, right?
Yep, next gen, new number, new.
Yeah, I don't know why you did that.
Trying something new. 25 Mustang, let's get it.
Yeah, but the 25 follows the 24, and that's what you've been doing every race.
Wow.
Yeah, 23 is not available, so we're counting
Should've
backwards.
stuck with the 9. It's ahead of the 23 and the 24 and the 25. Come on. But all right, good luck on Tuesday. I'll call that race and see if you can bring home another win. It'll be another super speedway with Daytona. So first race of the next gen series and turn down for what? Coming to you on Tuesday night at 9:10 is when I'll go live. Race drops at 9:30. Enrique will be one of the drivers, so we'll see what happens that night. Pete, you want to go ahead and talk to our second place finisher, Jeff Lednam?
Absolutely. We were kind of curious whether you were actually going to be able to finish out the race and push Jose Ruiz to the win. During that break, you were saying it was going to be close. You wouldn't have enough for a green-white checker, and here you are, man. Great. Way to keep the suspense rolling. Congrats.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I wasn't sure. Right before we came to the line for the last lap, my crew chief come on and said, you have 1 lap of fuel remaining. So I knew it was going to be a little shaky. Plus, coming out 3 and 4, I started overheating.
Mm-hmm.
And I was losing power. So I was praying I could keep Jose in front. And them guys started gaining on us on the outside. And, sucks for them, but lucky for us, they got turned. But yeah, I didn't really have much help around me, so I decided if I couldn't win, I was going to try to push Jose. He's a guy I usually race pretty good with and enjoy racing with. So if I couldn't get it, I'd rather see him get it.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Everything that you just mentioned is something that I actually said during the broadcast. I was kind of curious how you weren't overheating and how you and Jose had a gap back to the truck that was third in line on the bottom. And at times, you guys actually shot ahead just a little bit once something happened with the high line. And at one point, you could actually even have cleared yourselves to move up and pick them up if you wanted to, but then you would have actually given away the low line. So, man, it's always great to talk to you. Congratulations on this P2. Any friends, family, sponsors you wanna shout out?
No, not really. Just the KS Gaming Truck League, or the truck team we had going. I really enjoyed this past truck season racing with Chad and Pacey and Chris. Kind of hoping maybe next season we keep something like that going, but I just appreciate you all doing the broadcast and stuff, and Papa Bear for putting this on, and that's about it.
Oh, there you go. Congratulations, buddy. Always great to talk to you.
All right, man.
Great job, Jeff.
All right, thank you.
All right, Pete, we're going to bring up our winner, Jose Ruiz. We just spoke to him with about, 15, 20 laps to go there. We spoke to him a little bit and said about, if you win, don't jump up out of the chair. Don't do the Tiger Woods, fist pump, thrust up in the air. Don't do any of that. And we said about him, he was, kind of doubtful on even racing tonight and figured, what the hell, it's Talladega. I won't have to do a whole lot of turning around or moving or doing a whole lot of that. And jumped in the race anyways. And he comes out and gets his win. Jose, welcome to the booth. Welcome to the winning circle. You got a copy.
Yep, I do.
All right,
My
Jose.
ibuprofen's wearing off.
Oh, is it? Did you jump up out of the chair when you won?
No.
All right. Well, like
Made
we
sure not
said, we talked to you during the race there. You said, you really weren't too comfortable with driving tonight, but you did it anyways. You're in an uncomfortable chair. You're sitting here in the winning circle now. Do you really care what kind of chair you're in?
Not really. I prefer my other chair because it's a lot more comfier, but I know it can be a pain in the butt to get out of it once I was done. So I just
roll out of it.
decided to choose the dining table. Yeah, because it's a little low for me, but.
Well, it was a great race. We saw Jeff Lednam pushing you there. Three Xfinity cars in the top three there. You had a great push from Jeff to the finish. He said, if he couldn't get it, he'd rather see you get it. But coming to that final, front stretch, were you worried about anybody on the outside? And I know Jeff said, they got turned and they went to the wall. But we've seen guys come on that outside line coming through the front stretch, and they make it to the finish line before that inside line because of the momentum. Were you worried at all?
That's how I lost. I think the Xfinity race.
I was gonna say,
I
wondered
in the
if
season.
you remembered.
Yeah, I think I went up high to block somebody or get their push, and they went higher, and the car below me passed me, and I think I finished like fourth, some of that. So kind of mad at myself, but this time I'm like, I'm just gonna stay on the bottom. And I just saw them wreck. I just hope when I saw them wreck, I'm like, please don't clip me and put me in the wall. But luckily, they were high enough up on the track to not hit me. I was surprised Jeff didn't blow up there. I think he was pushing me for like the last 10 laps. So
he was pushing you for.
I thought after like 8, yeah, he was. So huge thanks to him, and I don't know who else was in our line, but yes, shout out to Jeff for pushing me there at the end.
All right, Pete, you got any questions for our winner tonight, Jose? We've known him for a long time, so got any questions for him?
Yeah, absolutely. Jose 95, Jose 720, LFR game. I mean, buddy, you've been around the world between console here on iRacing. You've definitely done your thing. You got a lot of respect from a lot of people in any league that you race in. I always refer to you as one of the cleanest out there, and that's actually something that HD Motorsports always used to say all the time. But it's always a pleasure anytime you're in the race, because I know that you're going to be there. You're very consistent. You take care of your car, the best you can. You try not to get wrapped up. You try not to be too aggressive. You're always one of the ones to lift. And tonight, man, you kept that throttle down. You got it done. Congratulations one more time, sir.
Thanks, Pete. Appreciate it.
All right, well, we go into the next season for Turn Down for What, Next Gen Series coming out on Tuesday. Make sure you check the follow button, check the subscribe button, write it down, put it on the calendar, set an alarm on your phone, something, but come out and watch at 9:10. I'll go live. Not sure if I'll have anybody in the booth with me yet, but we'll be going live for Daytona. Opening race of the season for 14 races. They'll have 10 races for the regular season and 4 races for the playoffs. It'll be a new era for Turn Down for What. We're going to have next gens. We're going to have stage breaks. We're going to have race control. We'll have playoffs. We'll have all kinds of different things we haven't had in Turn Down for What. First season with all of this stuff in there. I believe they're going to have the choose cone as well. There's going to be all kinds of stuff thrown in here. So definitely make sure you tune in on Tuesday and see what happens. A lot of fun. And then, Pete, you're coming back for the truck series, taking over my spot in the trucks. I'm more than happy to hand it off to you. I've loved doing the trucks. It's been a favorite group for me. I've always been more of an Xfinity guy, but I let Rick have the Xfinity car, and then when I saw the next gens coming out, and I already do a next gen broadcast on Mondays, so I figured, well, I got cams for them, I got all kinds of stuff for them. I'd rather have the next gen cars since that's where we're going. So I'm glad you stepped in and covered up the trucks, and I think they got Mount Rushmore of broadcasters to come in to cover on Sundays.
You know what? You got all that changing over on Tuesday nights for the next gen, and I'll be back behind the mic for the trucks, as you said. But you know what, Kurt? One big thing that you're missing right there, and that is the new platform that we're all going to be on as well. Roku TV, the Sim Racing channel. Don't forget, August the 1st. That brand new channel will go live. If you got a Roku channel, make sure you go looking for it. Keep an eye on Twitter and Facebook and all that. Jim Blankenship, as well as Stan Carnathan, Mike York, and me, and Swats, and Rick James, Atlanta Racing. We'll definitely all get the information out there. We're definitely looking forward to seeing everybody once that all kicks off. Again, August the 1st. Stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss it.
Definitely excited about that. I was gonna miss it. I was gonna play the commercial one more time before we ran out here, but I think we're all looking forward to seeing where this goes. August 1st. You'll catch the race that Pete and Rick did this past Friday as one of the first ever streams to Roku TV for this new channel, the Sim Racing channel. That whole broadcast will be put on there. There's a bunch of different broadcasters from that night that their videos are getting edited and put together and creating one giant show to be put on there. And I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what comes out of this, Pete. I think it's a great direction for sim racing. It's the first I've ever heard of sim racing going to live TV with Roku, besides obviously the Coca-Cola channel and things like that, or the Coca-Cola series, that kind of stuff. But I'm really excited to see it, and I'm excited to have, 3-4 guys that I've always said are the Mount Rushmore broadcasters, and if we can get a couple more that I also put up there on the Mount Rushmore as well, I think it would be great to have everybody up there and just put on one big giant show and make this thing as big as possible.
There you go.
But we'll catch you guys on Tuesday. I'll be going live 9:10. Pete, I don't know when you guys' opening races, but I'm sure it'll be coming up here soon. So make sure you stay tuned to Repeat 1975 and check out his schedule when it comes out. And we'll go live on Tuesday and see where this next gen series goes. But thank you everybody on the chat. Thank you all the viewers. Jim, Coyotes fan, Stan the iRacer, Eleanor, Dele, Shad, bowling expert. There's so many people that chatted tonight, so thank you so much for jumping in the chat, keeping us company. Really enjoyed it. So we'll catch you guys next time.